What's up, Rob?
What's going on?
No, not much. Got a dog barging into my room.
Well, you know, that's what happened.
Check this out. This is exciting news.
Oh, well, hold on. Organized Sound. What's your real name, Organized Sound? So Organized Sound blasted vinyl owners in the comment section of my live stream.
Oh, shit. That's fun.
So he has anger.
He
has anger towards vinyl owners.
What's up, Fred?
What's your real name, Organized Sound, so we can call you by your real name?
I like how Joe Marino says hi to everyone in the peanut gallery but us.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Joe.
Join us, Mazzy, if you want to. It is Friday night. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get one bum for the price of none tonight.
Yes, exactly. Correct. A lot of folks joining. Well, what have you been up to all week?
Hold on, I'm going to make an executive decision. Okay.
What's that?
To do that.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay.
How many accounts does that guy have?
I don't know, but it obviously has nothing going on constructive.
Yeah, that's true. Motor Speedways Incorporated, that's a fun name.
What's up?
I've been listening to a bunch of Japanese stuff all week. All that shit I pulled out of my collection I showed last weekend or last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun.
I've picked up a lot of avant-garde free jazz stuff over the week. I've been cleaning, and I've been mastering the flattener. In fact, PB Thou purchased the exact same flattener.
Really?
I've actually been giving him my tips because I think I'm getting to a good place on learning. 90 minutes at 130 degrees. It heats up to it, and I cool it down to 80 degrees. I'm having the best success with that. Records that I would call not perfectly flat, but not warp, I'm flattening perfectly.
Yeah.
So
there's no such thing as I don't know what that even means, but
it's it plays through fine. There's no issues, but they're just not flat.
Yeah, that's warped.
Okay, whatever.
It is.
Hold on.
Is this flattener as good or better? I don't know about that. I have no idea.
Well, I know a little bit about the orb.
Yes.
The orb has settings that you move a little thing. So you cannot manipulate the temperature or the time. This, you can manipulate tons of aspects to it. There's a fan on it. You can manipulate the fan. You can manipulate about 5 or 6 different things about it.
Why the hell would you manipulate the fan? Who gives a shit?
Listen, you live in Texas, right? Let me ask you a question.
All right.
You live in Texas, right?
Yes.
In the summertime, it's hot as shit, and it's humid as shit outside, right?
Yes, that's why I stay inside.
Do you go inside and not turn on your air conditioner?
This is an irrelevant. This is totally irrelevant.
Who cares about manipulating the fan?
On a record flattener, not in a house.
It's a circulation of the air, man.
There shouldn't be any air in there to begin with.
Wait. Fred's come back angry.
Yes. Oh, man.
How do I know that's not your real name? Because if it was your real name, you would have like a Berg or a Stein or Ski at the end of it.
Yes.
Okay. Where's Fred's
Warped records delivered to Texas? Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sure they're both great. I love my orb because it's very simple and works. I'm sure this other one's good too.
Craig, Michael Fremer did 2 videos about this flattener. It's from Germany. I have issues with the video that Fremer posted because he took an obviously warped record and put it in like he was making a toaster strudel and pulled out a flat record. And I find that very odd because my experience is not that.
Oh, that you have to do it like multiple times or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Gotta fuck with it.
it's not the cure for warped records. You have to play with it like Chris does. Yeah, sometimes you have to put it through like 3 sessions.
Yes.
Oh, someone. Oh, Billiam. Why don't you go find a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something?
Well, what did he say? I want to see. I don't load the comments yet.
I'm quick triggered. I'm getting rid of them. And Louis, be a better person than that. Wanting to see the comment.
Well,
You just realize
that's,
the stimulation you'll get from our conversation should be enough for you.
Yeah, right. Actually, that's actually, to be honest, that's a really fair thing to say, because giving any of these fucking idiots any air at all is always the worst thing to do.
Right.
Yes. Look at this message.
Louis, be better. Yes. Actually, you should change your band name. You should change your band name to that.
I show up and it's the full court press. I can't. That's fantastic.
Oh man. Wow.
Where is this stupid stream? I can't find it.
What do you mean you're on it?
The chat. I'm trying to load the chat.
The chat. Yes. It should be the same window, bro. Can you not see the chat?
Not that. I don't like that. I like the pop out from YouTube.
I mean, this is a fair question. I don't give a shit about the Mavericks because I'm a Spurs fan, but yes, I do think that's probably one of the worst trades in all of sports history.
No, there's been worse trades.
Russell Wilson.
I mean, the one that's way up here is the Orioles. Right? The Orioles traded Babe Ruth to Boston or something.
Boston,
Babe
sure,
Ruth was
100,000 years ago. That's true.
But there've been bad trades. That know what?
Bad,
he's not. It's not like he's playing through the roof right now. He's got the ips or whatever.
The ips.
Yeah, the ips.
The yips.
What? It's the yips. It's
wait.
Yips.
Now I'm being insulted by someone who wants a link, so I have to give him a link. Who do you think's insulting me through text message?
Or Mazzy?
No.
Well, who is it?
It's got to be Jim.
No, Jim's not smart enough to come on the stream.
True.
The person will be arriving shortly.
Why do we put up with you? Why does anyone tolerate you is my question.
Because you know what, Louis? When you need a friend to be there for you,
I count on Chris. I have Chris.
What's up, Mazzy?
I wanted to make sure I missed the sports talk here. So
I'm telling you, here's the deal. Did Luka win them a championship? He got them there, but did he win them one?
That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard in the history of all arguments.
No, it isn't. You made a stupid ass comment.
Here's why it's bad.
The worst trade in the history of ever.
Let him talk.
They just made it to the finals, bro. They just made it to the finals like last year, and then they traded the guy that got them there.
Yeah, but they didn't win the game. If they won it and they traded him, then that would be a horrible or really, really bad trade.
Okay, yeah, that's stupid.
Record Talk's giving you stuff. He's saying like Lou Brock to the Cardinals for a warped record. There you go. That was a bad.
I mean, at least basketball had a team called the Jazz, but not baseball. So why do you?
Anyway, I think it's a bad trade, but I don't really care because I don't care about the Mavericks.
Hello, Fred. Hello, Chris. Hello, Louie. Hello, Rob.
Hello. Who the hell just got banned now?
Hi, Mazzy.
I can message you privately. It's okay. The person who needs a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Nice.
Or maybe just any friend.
A cat. Maybe a puppy.
I want a cat.
I like I saw the tip end of your little room showing there, Fred. I like that.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good.
It does. It looks great. I totally love the idea, especially when you live alone, that you're not sticking your office way in the back. You want to work where you live, right? You don't want to be stuck.
And that's, I'm gonna have to treat the room. But
wait, is that a sliding glass door? That's the back of the house, then.
That's the sunroom.
Oh, nice.
Okay. In the front.
Yeah, I was working back in a room for a while when I first moved here, and it was like I felt all cooped up, and it was like, why? No, I'm not. I'm here alone. I want to be out in the open, which is why that was the dining area, and I changed out the light fixture so I didn't keep bonking my head on the hanging.
Where are your speakers? In front. Oh my God! You have a TV between your speakers. Call the audiophile police.
We are in the but I think I'm gonna do this. Check out this idea. You put some brackets coming out of the wall. You put a dowel between the brackets, and then you hang like something soft over it when you're not
you could do a
watching
curtain type thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Or
my
and
TV
this is-
has a pivot.
hold on.
My TV is on an arm because my couch is off to the left, so when I'm sitting, it's different. But people freak out about that shit.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, Mazzy. Or you could just not do anything and ignore that shit.
Well, I don't. That's basically what I'm going to do.
Totally fine. It's going to be
totally fine with it.
Not me. I got to cover up. It's not too reverby in here, but I would like to cover up some of the reflection points and.
Yeah, but once you reduce those things and you do it right, the TV is not going to matter.
My stereo sounds so much better when Rob's here because his mask takes up some of that sound.
Right.
Sure. He's like a sound trap.
Bass, like a bass trap.
Rob,
dude, I'm seeing myself on camera wearing like business professional clothing for literally the first time, and it's like making me feel away.
We can't even see because it's so dark. What are you wearing?
What the hell are you talking about?
Here
you go.
You're wearing business clothes.
Louis, he looks like dressing like Buffy from Family Affair.
You're wearing like you look like what Anson? What's his name on?
Have you ever seen me in a collared shirt in your life?
No, I haven't.
The answer
are you
is
going to Sears Portrait Studio for your school pictures?
What's that guy's name? Anson on Happy Days, who directed for a while.
Anson Williams.
Anson, yeah. You're the Anson Williams of the VC.
Well, when I'm not directing commercials, I'm also the lead singer for the Eels, apparently.
Oh, right. That's true. Yeah.
Who's typing?
Listen to how fast Fred can type.
No, it's very passive aggressive.
Sorry.
It is very passive aggressive, Chris. That's funny as hell.
Potsy.
Yeah.
The Potsy of the VC.
Oh, he dresses well for live streams like Michael 45. It's a good point.
I think I like when people dress up because most guys dress like shit around these places.
Hey, remember that episode where
I'm in sweatpants.
Joni fell in love with Potsy and she called him Dren?
I'm gonna mute
because
myself.
it was nerd backwards.
Yes.
God, I feel like I'm wearing a hoodie just like Fred there. So
it's a little off-putting that you're wearing a hoodie with a hat, though, man.
Has anyone stumbled across these British old dudes who rap? That's who Mazzy looks like.
Like who?
There's these British old guys, seniors, who gangster rap.
Like Basil Rathbone.
No, it's like modern, but like if you are
I just
a scrolling social media person.
Dude, so far it's been 13 minutes and 14 minutes on the dot of Jazz Bum stream with no jazz talk. I want to keep this going as long as possibly.
Hold on, I have a stack of 50 jazz records. So
God. Oh,
of course you do.
I did mention the basketball team called the Jazz early on.
True.
Yeah, but they came from New Orleans where that made sense. They just kept the name.
No, I think it's a great name. Are they still around?
Yes.
Okay, see, I don't even pay attention. I don't know.
Utah Jazz. They're still around.
That's a great name for a basketball team.
Well, you know what, Matthew? I believe that they made a big announcement in Seattle this week.
I didn't hear it. Is it going to be a basketball team here?
Yeah, an NBA team.
Do we have a name yet?
I believe. I think
they an expansion team or somebody moving.
No, they're going to do a what do you call it when they just started
a franchise edition?
No, it's that Russell Wilson's coming back to lose.
Well, last time they gave the last team they got here, not basketball, sports, the perfect name. The Kraken was the perfect name for a hockey team.
That's a pretty great name.
So the Seattle Vinyls. That's a terrible name, Chris. It shouldn't mean anything to the records.
Hold on one second. Where have you been, Chris? Record Talk. You've disappeared.
He's been mourning the loss of the morning show.
No, he's been gone for way longer.
I was talking to someone today who's not really a fan of the Rachel's Morning Show. However, he said to me, we all miss it because even if we went on and got scared away, we could talk to each other. We knew what was going on. You could go in the peanut gallery, not pay attention to what was going on.
Oh, to want to have a thing like that is totally normal. And it's amazing.
3 hours in the morning just to
But
kind of
nobody's.
hang out and have
But like,
coffee.
think about what it takes
God.
to be the type of person who's going to be able to do that.
There's
It's
no one-
gonna be somebody who's.
What do you think about this? This donated thought. Ban Fred, free the jazz.
It's gonna be. It would have to be a retired person, and
I ain't gonna
Imagine
do
if you
it.
do it.
I mean,
know who it is.
the Jazz Shepherd doesn't make as much content as he used to, if any,
No.
right?
Yes. Just not a whole lot. I don't
Not
think.
that much. Not that. Yeah, it needs to be someone, and it's hard to do a good 2 hours
Oh.
every day, 7 days a week, or 3 hours even.
Ooh,
Oh,
I like this battle we got going here.
Who's
Who's gonna step up to the
Yeah,
plate?
no battle throw.
Alex, the Jazz Shepherd ain't here. Fred's here, so you paid $5 for nothing.
Shut up, Rob.
wasted.
I think someone should come over the top rope with like a $10 donation to counter this.
I'm impressed.
I just know Felipe is going to come scold us again from this conversation.
No, Felipe's not here tonight.
He messaged me, here in LA, the Hammer Museum, which is part of UCLA, they're doing a big Alice Coltrane art exhibit. So I think I'm going to go there on Monday or Tuesday to see it.
Hang on, I got
Where
banned.
at, Rob?
The Hammer Museum, which is part of UCLA.
Oh,
It's
cool.
a museum filled.
I'll
With
get it
hammers.
to
No, it's Arm and Hammer.
This is an important question we have here, though.
Hey, Rob, I'm assuming you're allowed photography in there, like most
Hang on.
museums.
Yeah, it's free, open to the.
All right. Thank you.
Probably
Continue.
no flash. But
Now, the only thing I'm afraid of here is, hold on a second, is I want to show a record, but I did show it on Rob, and Rob always like chastised me. It's a different audience on night.
No,
Night-
actually, how many people here in the peanut gallery watch my stream? Let Mazzy know. Let Mazzy know when he shows this record that you saw it already.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
sure a
have
lot
to
of
say it.
people did see it because I showed it on
Hang
my
on.
Instagram too. But it doesn't matter. It's a night audience, so it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Is it
One
One
jazz?
second.
it's
One
jazz.
second.
And
Wait.
I'm showing you.
Mazzy, before you show it,
God damn it.
before you show it, let me just ask a question. Do you think
Hang on.
You
I
just muted
need
yourself.
help.
You got muted,
Muted
Louis.
him for just a second.
You're muted.
Can you shoot-
Louis.
Rob, can you shoot Mike? You already did. Okay.
I just did it.
Yeah.
I did.
All right, thank you. Come back, Louis.
did
There
you
we go.
mute me?
Yeah, I did because
Yes.
I was trying to get a point across, but no one was listening.
Oh no! Oh
Okay.
wait, Michael had to come and ruin our attack on Louis. Now
Oh.
Michael looks like he's going to sell you insurance.
No.
Sorry,
Look.
I'm going to a friend's dinner tonight.
He's much
I
more.
thought it was like maybe
Okay.
school pictures day or something today.
Yes,
you know?
that's exactly what I look like right now.
I love it.
Come on, man.
So-
Let him speak.
Anyway, I'm just going to show it because this is Tony Williams, 1987.
You showed that on my
Civilization.
stream, Mazzy.
I know, but it's
Who
a different
cares?
audience. And I'm showing it because this came out in 87 when Tony went back to Blue Note. He did 6-7 albums for Blue Note from 85 to 93. This is coming out in March as a Blue Note classic. And Michelle, took all the photographs, these beautiful
Oh, cool.
photographs for this. She did all the Tony albums. This is when he came back, the second album of his rebirth at Blue Note, when he was composing. So the stuff's a little more low key, not as frenetic like the fusion stuff at all. And it's it's a great quintet. He's got Mulgrew Miller, Wallace Roney, Billy Pierce, Charnette Moffett, and I guess that's it. But it's a really good record. So anyway, that's coming out, and it's interesting. This is a Wally cut, but it's a DMM cut, and the new one is Kevin Gray, all analog. So I think this was recorded analog, but I don't know that. It must be because they're doing analog tape. So anyway, just to let you know that's it. Thanks,
Very
Rob.
cool.
Man,
Are
that
they-
was
are-
I
they
can
gonna
hear someone
repackage it?
typing on the
Oh, it's me.
Fred.
It's all good.
Are they going to repackage? You know how they redo some of those 80s covers when they re-release them? Or are they keeping the packaging?
Well,
It's exactly the same. It's exactly
it's
the
coming
same.
out this month, Fred.
It's March. It's a March release.
I'm so behind on those that I had like 20 of them in my cart, and I thought I can't do this right now. I'm just gonna have to slowly, the
Well,
IQO
Fred,
bag.
you missed it. At
The
end
You
of
Discover
the year.
sale. Oh
I
God,
did a 50% off sale off everything.
I bought
You
so much
Discover.
goddamn jazz.
Me too.
When
Roberto,
was this? Well, let me know when the next one is.
This December. My
Yeah,
friend
it was
a friend of mine
was
bought
50%
61
off.
records. 61 records.
Yeah, so it was all the Tone Poet and classic stuff that they had in stock was all 50%.
It was
off.
everything
Yeah,
on
see, I
your
would do that.
It was everything on You Discovered.
I
not
mean,
just-
I've said this before, but a lot of that is rebuying Music Matters stuff that I sold off. So, and I don't mind, getting the classics.
I mean,
given the amount of money.
Kevin Gray's system sounds so much better than his old one does. I mean, the Music Matters are beautiful. They're beautiful records, but for the most part, I think when I pull them out to listen to, I listen to the 33s.
The later 33s are better than the early 45s, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But I'm still not selling my copy of Happenings. That's never happening.
I did. I sold them all my 45s, but they went to a good family, to a good person.
Good home.
Did Nicole buy them all?
Yeah, I didn't want to bust her. Or,
We've talked about it. We've talked about it like 10 times.
Okay, she bought them.
The Nicole family. The way you said that, it sounded like they were going to a cult, like the Nicole family.
Yeah, exactly.
Cold cult. No,
Nicole family.
their god is a statue of a llama. What do they have?
they went to a good home, and it's funny that Happenings was the one I want. I got that from what's the jazz? The
Chris?
jazz guy, Chris.
Stop.
And I paid a lot
It'd
for
be
that.
nice
one.
if you remembered his name, though. That
I'm
would be
just,
cool.
I'm an old man, just out of the content. I would have got it in a second, but
Wait, so you sold the Hutcherson that you had wanted forever?
I sold all the 45s,
Oh my god!
and I bought the ones that were out on
Classics.
classics. I bought, which is only about 6 or 7.
I have a shit
No,
ton
there's quite a few now, man.
well,
I
the
have a
ones
shit-
I had.
Oh,
it was
okay, all right.
6 or
I
7.
have a shit ton of records, but I found a sealed Music Matters 33 of this week. Actually, Harry, who comes around here, Harry Lewis, found it and handed it to me.
I have that. That's one of my favorite. Music
Okay,
Matters
so
songs.
here's when I listen to these, at least mostly the Music Matters, but I'm sure the Tone Poets, and people have said this, that the cymbals are crazy good. The way the cymbals sound on this is so good.
How much was that?
I paid $30. It was $30. I don't know why they.
That's like
priced
a
it at
$200
$30.
record.
Bro. Yeah.
No.
I mean, I
Now
paid-
the prices are dropping on these.
Yeah, that
If
sounds
you
crazy.
go look at the 33 of this on Discogs, you could probably get it for $60.
But is that one of the SRX, the vinyl?
No, this is not an SRX. Right?
So that's the one that has Zoltan on it. And if you don't know, Larry Young did that track Zoltan, which is based on the composer Zoltan Kodaly.
But it's
And it
written by Woody Shaw. Zoltan is written by Woody Shaw.
Yeah, but it has excerpts in it from Kodaly's ballet Dances of Galanta. It's cool. I like playing that for classical people.
Dude, I want things. This is for me. It's a lovely,
Yeah, you should
lovely
keep that.
piece
That's
just for me.
I have that in 33. I kept
Wait,
all
wait.
the 33s.
Do you
I
want
got
me
rid
to
of.
show?
I think I had 27. I think 27 45s.
Speaking of Kevin Gray and 33s, I just got the Doors records in this week. Those sound fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Felipe,
Did you get them all?
Especially, I got all of them except for Waiting for the Sun, but now I want to get that too.
That's one of the best ones.
Yeah, I
think.
don't know. I had a budget and I had to leave the cart.
It'll be around for a while, but I think that's one of the best improvements.
Waiting for the Sun I thought was incredible.
Ray still kicking around.
Yeah, well, not at this stream anymore. Hey, I
have a question. What are these people doing now that Rachel's not on YouTube anymore?
Apparently bothering the fuck out of us for no reason.
Well, no, they have
Yeah,
little
that's
circle jerk parties by themselves. Hey, I have a ton of records, and you could stop me, but here's a cool thing I found
Stop.
this week. Oh, suck it, Louis.
Louis, I missed your commanding baritone.
This is a typical record you could find on ECM. It's a solo piano
I'm
record.
actually an alto.
But in this was both the test pressing of the record and a white label promo. This will probably be in the auction. So you got the white label promo
Nice.
and then the test pressing of this record.
And is that the specs or is that a receipt?
It's the spec. I don't know. It's the specs.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. The time.
Label
So
copy.
that was cool. Someone put them both together.
That is cool. Wow. Rob showed something good for a change.
You can shove it. At least I'm showing jazz.
What is it?
So this is on Contemporary. I found it sealed. This is a good. Check out the lineup on this one.
Is that the Randy Newman song "Sail Away"?
Nazi.
No,
It
I'm
might be.
serious. Is it
So-
cover of the Randy Newman song?
No,
I'm
it's
asking.
it's the Enya.
It's pretty good, and Tom Harrell's really good.
Is it not? Is it the song? Who wrote the song?
Who
"Sail
wrote the
Away"
song?
on that?
Does it say?
Styx, your favorite band, Styx.
No, I don't think it sticks.
Sail Away.
Well, it could be Randy Newman wrote a song called
It's
"Sail Away."
Orinoco Flow by Enya.
Randy Newman's a song about the slave.
Now we gotta know.
the slave
We gotta
to
know.
America.
Hey, Mazzy.
What's the name of the
listen to
record?
Paul. This
What's the name? Hang on, I want to know now who wrote the song. What's the name of that
Sail
record?
Away.
Look
Sail
on.
Away?
Why don't you look on the record? Who does it say wrote that?
Styx.
Did it say the author is the guys from Styx?
I think it's pronounced Stykes.
John Abercrombie.
Can you look
This
it up,
is not the
Chris,
same-
and let me know?
This is not the
Good.
same Sail. You can name a song.
Well,
have
look
same
on the
title,
fucking
Mazzy.
record and look who composed it.
Mazzy language.
Man, for someone who comes off like knowing a lot about music, you're sure being annoying tonight.
I was asking a question because I'm okay.
And
Right.
that's where the
Take a break.
calls the
Take a
kettle
break.
black.
Chris, would you look it up?
I'm trying to look it up. It doesn't say.
It being the internet does not say.
What's the rock song "Sail Away"? Is that what you want, Mazzy?
I just, I would say look on the label and it would say who composed each song, who
Yeah.
wrote, just to make sure it's the Styx version. There's
Yes.
different songs called "Sail Away,"
Mm-hmm.
and that's a black artist, so it would make sense doing the song Randy Newman wrote, which is about bringing the slaves, African American, the black guys and fam people on the slave ships to America.
You can say slaves, Mazzy. It's not
And
canceled.
you're really
He
sticking your
I
foot.
know.
enslaved people.
You're putting your foot in your mouth.
But
You
Fred's
made it more awkward by
Yeah, he
dancing
did.
around it.
He did. He couldn't figure out the language.
These are the moments I live for.
No. All right. Anyway. All
Sorry.
right. What's next, Rob? Why are you muted, buddy?
See,
Probably because you muted him like a fucker, like you muted me the other minute.
Oh, it happens. He's muted. And he's still talking. Rob.
oh my God, Felipe
Mute
is going to be
yourself,
so
buddy.
mad. The Jazz Bums brand. Is
I know
really
I'm
falling
muted.
off.
I was doing some detective work
Oh, I see.
because there's someone.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
Chris, will you
concert.
put the name of that artist, Chris,
Yeah.
Concert butt tea.
in the comments. Put the name of that artist that he showed. I didn't. I'll look it up.
Yes. Yes. Good luck finding it.
Oh God!
Oh,
Hey, can you? Some of you people use your wrenches, please.
that's good. That's a good point.
I don't have one.
Okay, so I don't. Most of the stuff you find with him is kind of easy listening jazz, but this is an album he did with the Great Jazz Trio, which is Hank Jones, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams. Mazzy. So I think I have a lot of their records. They must have done 30 records. Most of them are that trio, but this is one of the few that they did with another, and this is pretty good. It's good. It's all a tribute to Bird.
Hank Jones, Ron
Jones.
Carter, and Ron Carter.
Hank Jones, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams. That's the Great Jazz Trio.
Yeah.
They did like at least 15 records together.
Huh.
They're like 30 of them, mainly with Hank Jones as the constant.
I don't think I've heard any of those.
Most of them were put out in Japan. So, a lot came out on Inner City here. Some
Yeah.
are direct to discs. They're quite good, and they're not cheap. They're like $30 records. A lot of them. So, but this is good. Okay.
That's cool.
A lot of Fred stuff here. I found a bunch of Henry Threadgill records. This is very good. He did like 4
That's very
records on the
good.
label About Time, and this is quite good. Here's who's on here with him. You know, I kind of feel a lot of his stuff has like a kind of Dixieland kind of influence. in
Yeah,
it.
he went through this. He went through. Well, I don't know if it was a kick, but he pretty frequently returned to like early, like Joplin stuff or like.
Yeah, but it's kind of avant-garde free. But that's kind of the
Yeah, and
influence.
then he did odd versions of.
Yeah, that's what this is. This is very
That's
good.
cool.
Oh, that does sound
Say
good then.
This is his best record on About Time.
Okay,
good.
it's neither the Randy Newman song or the Styx song. It's an original jazz song. Okay.
Okay.
By
good.
who?
Thank you.
Who
Rob
wrote it?
could have
then?
just looked at the record, but
I guess he wrote it,
No,
or it's
cool.
a standard.
I
What do we
don't
got
know.
here?
I don't know how many Lester Bowie did on Muse, but this is one you see all the time. And there's one of these crappy gray market reissues of this. That
Yeah.
one sounds horrible, but the original ones sound really good.
that
Is
has
that an
great
extra
players
copy?
on it.
Huh?
Is that an extra copy?
No, but if I find one, I'll let you know. I sold my gray market one.
I don't want a gray market one.
This is another one he did on Muse.
Was it Rope-a-Dope?
Yeah, Rope-a-Dope.
Oh, I gotta mute myself. I'm gonna looking for a record.
Okay.
Mm. Who's on that? Hang on, you're going too fast. Come
Okay.
back. The Muse record, we care.
Well,
Illinois, Joseph Bowie. Yeah.
this is like a combination of both Art Ensemble Chicago and then the St. Louis one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Joseph Bowie's his brother that was in that one. So,
Were
this
they
is
related to David in any way?
there you go, Mama Daddy.
That was funny.
This is
Yeah.
on Black Saint. Here's the lineup on this one.
Oh, Bakota Carol, nice.
Leroy Jenkins,
Nice, great.
Andrew Sorrell for
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, that's a vintage meme.
Yes.
well in jazz. This is one I think Jazz Bomb Mike has this one. I haven't listened. Some of these I've just been cleaning.
You know, isn't it kind of bullshit that Rob lives in an area where he's just stumbling upon these like
Yes.
$10
Hard to find
or like
Now here,
good.
I actually here I have both here. Now this one I found, but I've had this one. So this is the original one that came out in France on America Records.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a couple years later, a year later, this came out here in the US on Prestige. This will be in an auction. But this is an excellent record. And it has she's a singer. She sings on this, but it's good. This is good. All right. There over there. Here's a Roscoe
Right.
Mitchell record in the Sound Space Ensembles. This is on Black Saint. He did a bunch of records on Black Saint.
Cool.
This one is an OG actual. They're doing a good job about reissuing these. They're doing a very kind of audiophile pressings of these records. But I
What
don't think
label is doing pressings of this?
it's owned by Charlie, which is a UK label. They own them now.
Oh, is that the person you had the interview with?
No,
No,
that's Craig
no,
from,
okay.
No, but I
been around since Charlie used to do a lot of rock and roll reissues and rockabilly.
and in fact,
Gotcha.
I just picked.
They were kind of a budget label in the 70s.
I just picked up Fred the two Don Cherries that just came out, the part 1 and 2. Those are very good. They put out at least 10, I think, reissues already.
I got to run because I got a dinner reservation.
All right,
but
well,
you guys have.
We
It
had to
was fun
listen to
hanging out.
Rob the entire time we had.
It's all right.
poetry on
I'm used to
class.
it.
He's got a res at Dorsia. He's got to get to.
Endorse, yeah.
Actually, I have a bunch of Air records I'm going to put in the auction.
Ooh, Air's
But this-
great.
Yeah, this is I don't know how many they did on Indian Navigation. This might be the only one. I think this is their first record. That's Henry Threadgill, Steve McCall, and Fred Hopkins.
That looks sweet.
All
What's
right,
up, Brandon?
here's a
What's
Chris
happening?
record. Chris record.
Great.
This is
Yes.
really good.
Yes.
This is
Fantastic.
Japanese, 70 from 1976.
I
It's on-
like Warren Marsh.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite Atlantic.
I
favorite.
highly recommend this record.
Get the Speaker's Corner if you can. It's good.
Here's a live album of Art Ensemble, double LP on Delmark.
I want that jacket.
Like that.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
see what we
yeah.
can do.
Patch.
Like one of those velveteen jackets from back in the day.
By the way,
Ooh,
there are 2 documentaries about Billy Bang.
yeah.
They're both, I think, on YouTube. One is just a straight up documentary about him. The other is he's a Vietnam vet.
Yes.
He
Yes.
passed away, and it's about him going back to Vietnam.
Yes.
Have you
It's a
seen
good
that one?
documentary. Yeah.
But
Was
Billy
it
Bang
after? Was it before or after he passed away that he went back?
after.
So,
Yeah, that's a great documentary.
It's like My Weekend at Bernie's.
No,
Yeah.
but it is a good documentary. Dang.
looks
What the
sweet.
heck? It just seems like, how much did you pay for that, Rob?
Look, I paid money. So
he can't tell you because then when it goes on
I
auction
didn't pay
and it's
$5. These records were
500
not
times.
$5. They were not $5
Thank
records.
goodness for some dough.
But I'm saving them. I'm cleaning. Like I already have this, so this will
It
go.
just
down.
We
like
know what
what-
you're doing. We know what you're doing.
It seems unfair to me.
But I already have a copy of this, so this is really good.
Put that in my pile, bro.
Goes for some
You
dough.
want that one?
Yeah,
Let
for
me,
sure.
when I find my other copy, I'm pretty sure these are going in auction. This is a sealed.
Hey,
I
Christopher.
actually kept a few of these, and people were kind of blowing him off. I think he's really good, Jan Garber. Some of the ones I found.
I don't know that much about him.
I mean, I feel like every time I get suckered into some of these, I'm like, let's give old Jan another shot. And then I do it, and I'm like,
I'll show you two. Like these, the ones he originally did on ECM are awesome.
yes. Yeah, I mean, there was also a shift for sure.
And this one's with Bill Frisell.
Well,
I've heard that one.
Yeah, I can't get into Jan Garbarek.
The ones, the original ECM ones are really good.
No, I know what you mean. It's just
The German ones, especially.
It's like that's where Kenny G got his sound from, is Jan Garbarek.
No.
No, it's true. I'm not joking.
I mean, he might have liked them, but he didn't get the sound from. I mean, might have been. Yeah, it is mood music, definitely.
Check out all the people that are on this one.
Yeah, it's like massage music.
Yeah.
No,
It is.
well, it's like typical ECM ambient.
Yeah.
yeah, it's boring.
This will be in the
Boring.
auction.
Fuck you, Chris.
I
That's
already
got a
have
great cover.
That is
Look
a
at
cool
that.
cover.
This is really
It
good.
looks like a fucking video game cover.
It looks
Yeah.
like a cover that would be
Future,
released in
baby.
the Dune universe.
Is that an '80s cover? It looks like an '80s
Yeah,
cover.
it's from the 80s.
Yeah, of course.
He did a string of albums on Novus that were really good.
Young Garberg stuff, I always get the feeling of like maybe there's something more going on here, and I'm put off by the production and the cleanness, and maybe one day I'll come back and
Wait.
it'll hit me.
Hold on, Nicole, you have to say a title. I just showed two. The one this one, Nicole.
Just barking orders.
I know
Well,
he just wants
people
Nicole to
people
hype up
message-
the record.
I'm not here to sell records, so message me privately.
No, we're just trying to claim them before they go on the auction.
This is a mono Van Gelder, and this sounds really nice. This is here's the lineup on this one.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw, Don Patterson, Paul.
Does he
Weaver.
have night vision too? That's what you get when you get tetanus.
Here's a
If anyone
question.
here has
Wait, let
Lockjaw-
me see the title of that one, Rob. I like the lineup.
What
what's
now?
The one with Lockjaw on it, and
Now, this I
Tracking.
think is an unfortunate name for the time period of a jazz record.
Why?
Tracking.
Well, how did most of them take their heroin?
Oh, way to go! Way to reduce the entire.
Maybe
art
he
form
was
down to
trying to
heroin
do
addiction.
like a mix with a Grateful Dead song, like tracking, keep my
Yeah, you always walk on the sunny side of the street.
like
man.
trucking.
Trucking. Yeah.
This is on Novus. I think they put out a lot on Novus. This is another.
Can you go
one.
back?
that one's great.
I have that. That's the one I think that's the only error. No, I have two errors, but one of them is that one.
Go back to which one, Chris?
I don't know. Oh, the Lockjaw. I have a question about the cover.
African Pepperbird is good, Christopher.
Yeah, I want Pepperbird big time. That's on my want list. Okay. Does Lockjaw really need to be in quotes here, or are those unnecessary quotes?
Well,
It's
that's
to
like
show you that's not his birth name.
it's a nickname. Like when people say Norman Mazzy Maslow.
Oh, is it?
I just like unnecessary quotes. So-
I have.
You guys just make me feel like I'm insane half the time.
I know. Nicole shouldn't even be here. She's better
This
than
is-
everyone on this damn.
This is quite a good one. I have this already, but this will be the auction. This is good. I think all these About Time records are good.
It's like graph paper on the cover.
Yes,
Fred
Mazzy.
Hawkins.
Okay. You people
That's
are
cool.
horrible. You're bad. You're bad at supporting the hobby of collecting records.
Yeah,
Supporting the hobby when the hobby is just Rob showing a million records. That's the hobby.
Oh, by the way, Fred, these are the reissues that
Same
they're
it.
doing.
Who's doing the reissues? BYG?
Goes on and on.
They're doing it themselves. Charlie's the parent company, but they're doing it themselves, and they're
Cool.
really well done. They're nice covers. They're really good reissues. So, all right, hold on. I got other ones here.
What a question that just got
I
sent
picked
in.
up-
Question. Hang on,
This-
let's take a pause. Take a
What?
pause. Take a pause. We got a question with money involved.
Okay.
523 is an odd.
Yeah, he's being a smartass.
Oh, is he?
But there's so many.
That doesn't
different-
matter. That doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
You if you
You
pay,
pay.
you
If
get
you
to be a
pay.
smartass, right?
Yeah, you play. There's so many areas of Sun Ra, though. You know.
Well, I only have 2 recommendations. I only have 3 Sun Ra records. I like the ones that Sam just put out, but you could buy the.
What's the one with the surrealistic cover? That's kind of a
Finish saying what I was going to recommend.
That's
They
all.
all-
of them.
A bunch of them have.
no, but the one with the it was reissued about 2 years ago.
Yeah. I can find it.
I think Kraft put it out actually.
Yeah, Kraft put it out. That's a
That
cool
was
one.
that's a good record. What's it called?
It is.
Hey,
I don't
Hey,
know. Let me look.
Randy,
Good.
why don't you go do a stream for 5 people right now? Okay, thank you.
It's pretty rough, but
Yeah, actually, I like Randy. He just hates
Randy
lyrics.
too.
Cosmic tones for mental therapy.
Yeah. There are 5
It's good.
people that
So-
need you to speak to. There's 5 people that need you to not talk and wear your glasses and just play music. Go do it for them. Okay.
God.
5.
Rob is
All right,
so
anyway,
cool.
I'm going to answer the question finally. So, the futuristic sounds of Sun Ra is what you're thinking of, Mazzy.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I really liked Space is the Place, which is a different era, which is pretty fun. And then the ones that Sam Records just put out, I liked a lot. But you can get those on Delmark for like $10.
Universe in Blue is also a good place to start.
But that's about the
You know, I feel like
This is a
Sun
good
Ra-
place to
I
start.
feel like this was a trick question from Vinyl
Hey.
Piper, but
well, doesn't he have like 200 Sun Ra records or something?
yeah, I mean, yeah, so, yeah. Sun Ra is one of those things where like you could hit someone with different eras and they would be vastly different. Like they'd have a different response to them completely. Like the swingier stuff, the more free improvisation stuff. Electro.
I always say Languidity is the one I tell people to listen to.
Really? Okay.
Because
I
I
like
don't think the
Languidity.
early stuff is like representative, like that. Savoy
swingy
isn't
stuff?
really. No, the early stuff. I don't think
So-
like that stuff on Savoy is really that much. I think Languidity is a easy for people to get into album, and it's middle. It's like 70s. I think it's 70s, early 70s. I just feel like that's a record. I don't.
That question acts like you could. There's an album that will gateway you into what Sun Ra is.
Sun Ra.
don't
Yeah,
think there
I don't
is.
think you can. But if I
Yeah.
were to pick one, it would be Languidity. 'cause
I don't know if I've heard any of this Savoy stuff. I don't even know if I've.
That's what they just showed. It was just shown.
Who?
Whoever just showed that.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've heard
that's-
that.
That's a Savoy.
It's accessible, but it's really good.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there's
it is a really
there's
good record.
no way you could start listening to maybe the 5 or 6 or 7 albums that they're kind of like that and automatically get into the weird ass shit that he does.
No, but he's got so many different directions. He has the real commercial stuff, and
I don't think there is real commercial stuff.
well, no, there was what do you call it? Not the jingles, but the
The Batman and Robin record.
There's a
but
few
he was
records that are pretty
he
swing,
didn't write those
like
songs.
yeah,
big
the
bandy.
animation, not animation stuff, but yeah,
The Disney thing?
not the Disney with the elephants on parade. There's that one's interesting. I wouldn't say that's a good place to start, but it's interesting.
We need
Well,
Roger Coleman. Remember that guy?
But he did well, he was a train guy. All the singles, he did like all these single kind of short pieces. What's that? I have a comp of those.
I don't know.
But
I'm not an expert.
The album he did, the album he did with Barbra Streisand is good too.
I have read a lot, and I know he kind of ran his ship, kind of like cult like.
but I
haven't
kind of feel
listened
it's
to
like
the 300
military.
Sun Ra records that are out there, 700 or whatever.
But it's like military. he ran it like
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
bed-
apparently,
bedtimes, no drugs, none of drinking.
yeah, and I've read a lot of musicians having pretty mixed feelings about it. Like some were like, I wouldn't have had a place to stay if it weren't for, and it kind of taught me discipline and all of that.
Right.
But then I've heard some that were like, hell no, I got out of there.
But the you know what? Here's a good one to go. It's whoever manages the estate. It seems weird because they'll issue a bunch to Sundays, who has put out like 20 or more Summer records on Modern Harmonic. Then they keep some for themselves. Like I just picked up one they reissued that's quite good. And then it's all over the place. They spread it around. They'll get this. Go to Sundays. They're about to release another one of his records.
They do at least one a year.
Yeah, for Record Store Day, they have one coming out. And then there's a live show where it's a 6 LP box coming out for Record Store Day.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's CD territory for me, I think, nowadays.
It's not true about No Barbra Streisand is good. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not this audience here, but you know,
Well,
important artists.
How about this, Nancy? If you want Barbra Streisand records, go down to your local thrift
They're
store.
cheap. They're cheap.
They're all there.
They're $1. Yeah.
That's because
They
she's so
sold a
overrated.
shitload at the time.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Who is Barbra Streisand?
Are you
That's,
serious?
that's a great question.
Neither are you.
She's
have
a
never
film
heard-
director. You ever heard of Yentl? Never mind. She made a Chris Christopherson movie, A Star is Born, I think.
A Star is Born. I like Barbra Streisand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to her records. I don't buy her records, but she's definitely an important artist in the.
Oh, you guys are the worst.
Maybe like people pay for their questions to be asked or answered. Maybe you should pay to just talk on the
You're
stream.
kind of snooty. It's like typical jazz artists, snooty people that thumb their nose at certain rock and roll and stuff and pop.
No. There's
I
a
do.
far cry. There's a
Out of
far
the New
cry
York
from
cabaret
thumbing your
theater
nose. Hold
scene.
on, Mazzy. There's a far cry from thumbing your nose at fucking Barbra Streisand.
Okay.
And
I have
Yeah.
to say the people that are the snobbiest in my are like the classic rock guys. Those are the ones.
oh
that
yeah,
are the
and
snobs.
it's because they don't have a leg
It's
to
like
stand on.
classic rock or nothing.
Well, I
Actually,
agree with you there. If that's all they're into, I love classic rock.
Well,
but if
hold on.
that's
There's
it,
someone here that represents that, Brandon. This dude right here is the
No.
snobbiest person here.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he's
About
going to
music.
classic rock.
About music. Yes.
yeah,
He
but
shits
Randy.
on- He shits on everybody's taste in music.
Oh,
Yes,
I don't
Randy
know what
does.
your background with Randy is, but yes, Randy gives shit, but he's not into like exclusively classic rock.
No. But the stuff he listens to, like he praises it way high and says it's better than anything you listen to.
Yeah, the classic rocks. I used to be on like I don't even remember some Facebook group where it was like pretty much classic rock records, and I had to leave because
Well,
it was just so.
you know,
Snooze.
anybody
Like,
that's
it's like being in a car group.
But don't you think if anyone is only into one thing and that's all that, that's kind of limits yourself. Classic rock's great. There were some great bands, but there's so much more beyond that. I hate when people my age say there's no good music coming out. That's bullshit too.
You know, Mazzy, I hate when people think that Jethro Tull is just one of the guys in the band.
He is.
Yeah, but I learned a lot.
thinks
I will
that?
say this about those guys that go deep
Go douchey, Louis.
into
There.
specific genres.
You, Chris. God.
When
I love Jethro Tull, though.
Hey, Mike, come on up.
Come on.
Come on up, Mike.
Oh, shit.
Give me a fucking break, you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like I learn a lot more from. I never learn from the people that are like, "Oh, I just dipped my toes in everything." I learn much more from the people that are like, "I went deep into garage or
Yeah.
jazz or
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Fuck yeah.
whatever it is."
It's
I
weird.
went deep in my garage and found a dead mouse in a mousetrap.
That's not like a uncommon thing.
Well, I know. I'm just saying it is. I'm pretty sure Fred's the biggest snob after he acted like he never heard of Barbra Streisand.
I've
Did
got
you
I've
read it?
heard
a lot
Barbra
of genres.
Streisand is one of those names like where I've heard jokes and stuff. Like
Yes.
I've heard the name is in my mind, but I don't know that I know who. I'm gonna have to Google it. Barbra
You guys
Streisand.
are really
Are you
I guess,
serious?
like
Are you
Send
really
in the
serious?
Clowns.
I'm not fucking
her
around.
version of Send in the
Well,
Clowns.
she actually directed like about 5 big hit movies too.
She's also in Meet the Fockers. Remember that? Meet the Fockers?
Her last movie,
Meet
I
the
think, is the
Fockers.
one she did with Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I haven't
Right?
seen that. I haven't seen any of the later stuff. You know,
It's like I'm trying to think of another celebrity that old people throw around the name, and I can hear the name, but I don't know. at
Funny
all.
Girl was a big change. Interesting. The movie Funny Girl was based on a Broadway musical of the day in the mid '60s, early 65, whatever it was. And what was interesting about that production, it was Barbra Streisand with what's the guy who was in Dr. Zhivago?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Omar Sharif.
Is
Omar
anyone learning anything from Azzy?
And there was a big whole thing in the production.
I'm learning a lot. Yeah.
That was during the 6-Day War in '67, I guess, when they were filming that. And you had this Arab actor and this Jewish actor, and it was kind of Hollywood, like whoever built that up about this Arab and this Jew doing this kind of romance musical together at the time.
What's the name of the lady, the Golden Girls show lady?
Betty White.
So like Betty White is one where I hear the name, but I don't know. I've never seen Golden Girls. I don't.
God damn it!
means
What are you doing
nothing
with
to
your
me.
life, Fred? Come on.
Betty White's hilarious.
Yes.
All right,
She has a
hold
dirty
on.
mouth.
So we know where you're coming from. If who's an old entertainer that's not jazz or music
Ian,
related that you know?
Who is? I've never heard a young person like, damn, I've been hot on Barbra Streisand.
You're right. It doesn't happen.
I've heard Barbra Streisand is like, yeah, it's a name that is.
I mean, it didn't even happen. Young
You
people
know,
didn't
it's-
like
it's
Barbra
kind of-
Streisand when Barbra Streisand was young.
We can ask someone who is gay, but it's in my mind, she's an icon for gay people.
But it wasn't originally.
That's where I've heard most of the jokes,
Yeah.
Rob.
But it wasn't originally.
She's
It was.
also an-
It was the New York cabaret and theater scene where she came out of, the club scene where all those
You
comedians.
know who are? Yeah.
And Dolly
Stahl-
Parton, I know Dolly Parton.
Well, that's later.
Yeah,
Like personally,
Dolly Parton's later.
Yeah, we're pretty
No,
close.
but he's from.
yeah.
But do you think that's because well, everyone knows who Dolly Parton is, but
well, everybody knows who Barbra Streisand is.
nah,
too.
I think
Except
think-
Fred, obviously.
I thought
think
you were going to
the
say
last-
because I sleep with men.
I
Rob.
love that this turned into a Barbra Streisand.
I think for the last 30 years, Dolly's been more relevant than Barbra Streisand.
Best
That's
jazz
fair.
bomb stream ever already.
Barbra
Come on.
Streisand is huge in the Jewish community too. Like,
Hey, you know what? As a Jew, I say no.
no, she
She
is,
totally was, but
and lots
not
of
only-
women,
Maybe
Jewish women, love Barbra Streisand
That's
because
true.
of her effect.
but she was big in the New York cabaret theater thing and Broadway musicals, and
She was really,
She was
really
huge. Like her
That's easy,
influence
Mark.
is
She was
He
really
was-
good looking when she was.
she was
young.
just about for a few years. She was the biggest artist
Yeah.
on Columbia Records,
yeah.
next to
Yeah.
Johnny Mathis.
I-
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Right.
it
Now
was
it's
terrible.
great
All of
people.
it
Who
was
gives a fuck
terrible.
about
But yes,
hold on, Mazzy.
Yes.
You're talking about all these artists that were big in the 60s.
right.
They were popular artists. They sold a lot of records that in the 2000s, later to mid 2000s, are in thrift stores.
Absolutely.
Andy
I'm not
Williams.
I won't argue with that.
nobody's
Yeah.
arguing
But
that.
remember, one of the biggest movies in the early 70s was with Robert Redford was The Way We Were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she and Robert Redford, that was a massive movie. That was
Most
Yeah,
of
and
us
she
were alive
was-
then.
She was a sex symbol too. She was. Really
I don't know about
cool.
a sex symbol, but
She was pretty in her younger days.
she was icon. She had this big nose, and
She had a big nose.
Still
That's
does.
it.
Yeah, but that was her
Yeah,
kind of
And
trademark.
the cover of the Superman album she did.
Yeah.
was wearing the Superman
She has a
shirt.
great. She had a
Oh, well, she
killer
did
body.
an album with Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees. Which
I
was-
have indeed heard of Elvis. Thanks. Ian.
Anyway, it's a different thing because
the Jazz Bums goes Broadway.
Jesus.
the newer generations, the millennials and the Gen Y, they're not really as interested in the history of music and movies and stuff like that. It doesn't. So even though, I think it was because, my parents and my grandparents were really into old movies. So you would absorb that sort of tradition, and it's just kind of different now. So it doesn't surprise me that Fred doesn't know who Barbra Streisand is.
I mean,
You young buck.
I know. I was about to say I know the history of some things. Like I'm not like completely like if it's
This
not,
is like a classic.
I haven't
early
heard of it.
picture
It's not out of the last 5 years.
We've all seen Barbara.
No, but this is a classic early picture. Her profile, her nose, and that short haircut. That was her like look when she first started selling records. Well, obviously we all don't.
I think it might be good for your channel to change your name to Streisand Defender.
Who am
Streisand sympathizer?
Yes. Who is that lady that's in White Lotus?
Which one?
You mean the comedian?
Yeah, she plays like the older. She plays the same character in everything.
Yeah,
she's
the
in.
long blonde hair. It's what's her? She was in Legally Blonde. What's her name?
I don't know.
She was in all the
Reese Witherspoon.
I know, Jesus Christ, the Streisand fans, and
she's a comedian. She was Stifler's mom. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
Jennifer Coolidge.
I had to say Stifler's mom.
Yeah, Concert Buddy's right on that. Yeah.
Okay, let's get back into jazz.
I know.
Please, your records, Rob. Jesus Christ.
Fucking Jesus. Wait, Rob's like get back into jazz means Rob shows 50 more records?
That's exactly what it means.
Well, why don't you do something to contribute and not talk about your stupid?
I'm trying to have a conversation with all of you guys, and then that's good.
I'm based on Louis crying his baby pants. I'm done.
Oh,
come on.
Take your ball and go home, Rob.
Thanks a lot, Louis. You're horrible.
You ruined it forever.
Yeah,
I just
you're
ruined
bad
it.
You're bad at
20 minutes.
Wait. Here's a very important question. I don't know what this even means, but this should be the talk of the stream instead of jazz talk. Does Putterman know these ancient
reptiles?
That's an interesting.
I know,
question.
That was pretty funny. Like 15 minutes.
To be fair, hold on. Your relatives that you're close with your mom, right, Fred? And your mom's not that old. It's not like your mom's going to be referencing Barbra Streisand around the house, right?
I've never heard my mom say Barbra Streisand's name.
Yeah, but your mom isn't that old. Your mom's, I think,
was
younger
into
than
like Kiss.
Yeah.
Add a lot of the social security number while you're at it.
The Barbra Streisand vinyl tag. That would be the great thing to come up with.
I mean, are you close with your grandparents, Fred? Would they mention Barbra Streisand or any of that shit?
No, my
he
grandma
already literally said he's never heard the name Barbra Streisand like 10 minutes ago.
No, I've heard her name. It's not like it was just like one of those names that I heard, but I don't know who the person is. And my grandma liked Neil Diamond.
They even did a song together. So
they did a movie together.
My grandma loved this duet between Neil Diamond and someone else.
Actually, no. So Fred, I know this factoid.
You don't bring me flowers.
Yeah, but they never recorded together. A DJ edited them.
Is that Barbra Streisand, Mazzy?
Yeah,
the flowers.
Yeah.
I want to say the thing that she always talked about was a flowers song, so that might have been it. But I never.
That was a massive hit.
And then my grandpa left a bunch of records.
Oh, come on, Delphina.
No one in my family's super into music, but my grandpa left me a bunch of records, and it was like all of the kind of like white middle class living room jazz. Like you find them in dollar bins all the time. Herb Alpert, Al Hurt.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So,
did you listen to him?
Oh, something Kramer, Floyd Kramer, is that one?
Yeah, that's country stuff though.
Yeah,
no, not. It was a jazz musician. It was like swinging with something Kramer or. Anyway, I listened to him. I but I'm also horrible with celebrity names. I will actually really like a celebrity's like movie output or whatever, an actor, and I will forget their name. I'm horrible with names in general. I'll be reading a book with my students, and I'm like, "What's the person's name?" That's and they'll have to. So
Wait
I'm
till you're 70, Fred.
Billie Holiday. Yeah, see, Delphino. My mom, no.
My mom listened to like.
I think
soul
we're on a mission to send Delphina and Fred all Barbra Streisand records.
That's good.
I'll have a stack for you, Delphina.
Send them to Delphina.
We could put together about $15 and send them the whole catalog.
I don't know about
Delphina,
that.
I'm gonna sneak some Barbra Streisand records into your bag.
What's the one thing we haven't talked about? And I was gone for 2 years, but just as I was leaving, there was about to be something called a Blue Note cruise, where if you were wealthy, you paid to go, and there were a bunch of jazz artists playing on this cruise, and I think you got to meet like one of these audiophile nerds on the cruise or something. One of the people mastering the records, or
Hey.
and I assumed Mazzy would go to get some sun, and
Oh no, terrible.
God.
Terrible.
What are we looking at now?
wouldn't it be great if there was like a syphilis outbreak on the
That's Brad Pitt. That's not Neil Diamond.
Yeah,
Blue Note cruise?
Yeah, I don't think I'd be interested in. I
They
don't
do
go
have
to cruise
jazz-
anyway.
Fred, I believe there's like last year, there was a night where 3 big jazz concerts were in LA, and Kenny Barron was doing a solo show because he was about to get on a cruise. But I don't think it was a Blue Note jazz cruise. It was just a jazz cruise.
I can't believe no one remembers that. It was like it was big. Every time you go to Blue Note's site, it was marketed.
I remember that.
I was hoping someone we knew would go.
No, I remember
guess not.
hearing about that. Yeah,
Have y'all ever been on a cruise ship?
No,
I have, but I've
never
been on
been on a
twice, but it was all trade out freebies. Two of my photographers did. One did a cookbook for Crystal Cruises, and one did a photo shoot. And they kept cutting the budget, so my trade was getting a Caribbean cruise and Alaska cruise for free for a week. So it was a freebie.
And did you like them?
I like the Alaska one better because you go on the Caribbean, which is nice when you get down there, but you're basically on the water for 3 days, or you don't see anything. You might see whales occasionally, but when you go up to Alaska, you're going along the shoreline. You see the glaciers. It was pretty beautiful, and you can drink and eat all you want. It's included.
Well, they're all melted now. There's no more glaciers.
Yeah,
up there.
there's that. But I wouldn't have done it on my own, paid for it, but I had a great time, and it was free.
My wife did one in Italy because it was with her parents.
Yeah,
and
Can we drill the glaciers for oil?
Maybe.
Well, they're going to do everything I don't
Just fucking drill it. Whatever it is.
Delphino,
drill it.
What did you think of the new James Brandon Lewis? Because last week or the week I was on,
Or is that something different?
there were pretty dissenting opinions about that album.
I feel like I read this article where he just wants to do everything, but he seems to be on a path because the rhythm section is the Fugazi guys, right? They're on that album.
Aesthetics.
One of the guys from
That's a
Fugazi.
different record.
No,
That's not
but
his
who's
latest.
playing? It's a trio, right?
Yes.
I think it's
Who's
the bass
playing?
player.
Who are
from
the other
Fugazi.
members of the band?
So let me see here.
What was
He's
there?
touring right now too. It
Is
doesn't
this
say
true?
shit.
Did Impex put out a live Streisand album, a rare record?
Oh my God, we were almost talking about James Brandon Lewis.
stop, man.
Mazzy, how do we tolerate you? How do we tolerate you?
Because I like to bring the commenters into
Terrible,
the
just
conversation.
terrible, just
Don't
terrible.
you think the commenters?
Not
were-
in this case, and not in most cases. No.
Okay, I
Get off
disagree.
of
With
Barbra
You're not
Streisand.
one for
Jesus
restraints,
Christ.
Mazzy.
I disagree with you. I think we should.
You don't have a switch in
You
your head
think
where
what you're
you
saying
go,
is
the Streisand talk is over. Let's not talk about it again.
Chill out. No rules. There are no rules, Wax.
there are absolutely rules. This is
You
not
have to have
a
at least
morning
you
show.
have to have at least 2 out of the 3 original jazz bums to have rules here. And
Hey,
we
you
only
know
have-
what?
Chris,
you know what?
whatever Chris says fucking goes as far as I
Mazzy, can you make a video where you come down from Mount VC with tablets in your hand?
20 10 commandments.
Let's get Mike up here. I think Mike has to get up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna look at this record.
Oh, by the way, Brad, this This is an outstanding record.
Yes, I know, and I don't have it.
Yeah, this is very good.
Yeah.
Is this the record you're talking about, Fred? Apple Cores?
That's the thing about Apple Cores. I haven't listened to it yet. I briefly
Great.
put it on today, and then I got a call, and I didn't have time to sit with
He
it.
puts out one record a month. It's hard to keep.
No, he
up.
does not. This is
No.
true.
Yes, he does.
Well,
So,
that
anyway,
young
this one
Garberick on
has-
that
Let's-
song.
Focus, Fred. Focus. You brought up
Okay,
this
sorry.
record. We're talking about.
Yeah.
You got James Brandon Lewis on saxophone, Chad Taylor drums and Imbira, and then Josh Warner on bass and guitar. I've streamed this a couple times. I'm going to pick it up. I liked it a lot.
Do they tracked the guitar over? Because I heard the first track I played, I think I was hearing bass and guitar at the same time.
Seems seems plausible then. Yeah, probably.
Oh man.
Oh, give me a break. It's okay.
I mean, hold on.
Yeah.
So Mike's not a fan of it, I'm guessing, from this comment. But am I wrong that he's been putting out a lot of shit? No, good records, but just a lot of stuff.
One thing, Young Garberick on some of the featured on some of the early ECM stuff. Brandon's like, no.
I tried it. I've tried so many of those records. I can't.
Brandon, that record is good. The one I just showed.
No.
Yes.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Are you trying to insinuate that two people disagree about whether one record is good or not? I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, J.E.
I tried so many. Like the band is great. It's like Charlie Hayden and Keith Jarrett and like just an amazing band. And once Garberick comes in, it just
Hey, there was this is a
can't
weird
do it.
slight just because you brought Hayden up. He's on this album, a duo record with who is it?
Compton Hawes.
No, it's a bassist, and they do old spirituals.
Oh,
Wait, who? What are
it
you
was
talking
a
about?
CD release originally. Hold on,
Charlie Hayden? Yeah, I have that.
you have it on CD?
Are you talking about Archie Shepp?
No, they do spirit. Hold on.
Yeah, I've got it. Let me.
there's a
find
cool one with Sam Rivers that I have. But
it.
duo.
I'm typing. Steal Away.
Mazzy's going to say that Randy Newman recorded that song.
And it looked like there was a vinyl release, but it was
Him
like
and
a
Hank
Korean-
Jones.
It's not a Styx song either.
Here, I'll show it.
Yeah, show it.
It's
Because
excellent.
I think there's one vinyl release
Do
of
it,
it.
you
It was like
won't.
a Korean vinyl
I mean, I
release.
will. It's I always do.
Do it. You won't.
And it's like $100. But the CD is great. I've heard the CD.
CD's excellent. Yeah, so it's a Verve CD
Hank
too.
Jones. Hank
Hank
Jones.
Jones, yeah. This one's amazing. So yeah, it's all spirituals, hymns, folk songs.
Yeah.
Really good. They did another one too that I have. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Hey, go to
Yep.
see all versions on that
Yeah.
and see the vinyl. I think there's one.
I would just get the CD though. Honestly.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, one.
LP. It says
South
South
Korea?
Korea, 2013.
It's 2 LPs.
$144. Okay.
Yeah. From the original master tapes. Okay, sure.
That's a good record.
It's a great. The CD sounds amazing though. Seriously.
Shit, I've lost fucking more than 30.
Yeah, you look good, by the way.
It's been like 60 pounds and got about 20 more to go, and I think I'm gonna look shitty when I hit that 20.
Are you getting ready to fight Tyson or what?
Goal is to get so lean, uncomfortably lean, and then start gaining muscle back. But I don't think I'm gonna look good that lean. I think it's just gonna be a temporary state of being.
That's why you got to shift your mindset to just hurting people. That's what you got to do.
Be careful, Louis. I don't think Fred knows who Tyson is.
Getting the Lex Luthor look.
Remember how horrible it was?
No,
when
I
we
know
watched-
Tyson. He's the guy that fought
Barbra Streisand. He said
fucked up my joke.
Tyson versus Streisand.
No, the douchebag.
Yeah, and that was the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. Yeah, some
I haven't
YouTuber.
fought anyone in a long time, Roberto. I have a story about my last. I won't bore people with it.
No, it sounds exciting. Please tell it now.
No.
Oh, because the jazz bums.
Yeah, Felipe will scold me. I
It's
can't handle it.
G rated.
So are the other two jazz bums not coming tonight? Or are they just off?
That's correct. That's correct. They have abandoned me with all.
And do they have good excuses or what?
A
One of
life.
them does. One of them does.
They have a life. It's Friday night. You should be out parading.
Hey, shut up, Maz. We're trying to have an audience here.
Seriously, Mazzy. Well, like a fucking like.
Come on.
Yeah, why aren't you out, Maz? Why aren't you out, Mazzy?
Because I have nowhere to go tonight.
You
Go out
missed Jim
tomorrow night.
Rose Milk. That's sweet, Mark. That's sweet. I'll tell him. Look at the little cry eyes. All right. Brandon, you got records to show?
Yeah, not very many, so it'll be nice and quick.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Yeah, and then she also said that'll be a change for the better.
Yes.
And then she said that'll be $300.
Oh.
Oh, those are 2010 prices, by the way.
Ooh, what's this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All my prices are back in 2010.
This looks cool.
Yeah, never heard it.
It's pretty cool. It's a live show. Masahiko Sato on piano, Peter Warren on bass, and Pierre Favre on percussion. Favre.
Very cool. Favre.
Favre.
Think they're related?
No, I doubt it. This guy's cool.
Yeah, it's fair. Thank you, Delphina. Thank you. That means a lot.
1971, live at Studio 70 in Munich. Yeah, it's really cool. It's very, it's a little bit avant. It's a nice, it's very 70s sounding. It's really beautiful and a little, a little out there, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. I like 70s stuff a lot, so it's kind of my favorite. So when something sounds 70s to me, I tend to like it.
I had a friend that played trumpet. Actually, there used to be this Instagram. It was kind of like this for jazz nerds, but it was Instagram people, and it was private. It wasn't like a stream. And this dude was obsessed with Woody Shaw. Like he was that. And he liked a bunch of 70s stuff, like
yeah, I
70s,
like
80s.
I don't know if I'm obsessed, but I like him a lot. This is a gift from a friend. Isao Suzuki String Band, and it's actually really good. I don't know, sometimes when it's like strings I tend to run away, but this is not like that at all. It's also a little bit avant and a tiny bit out there. This is a direct disc. What's the company again? Flying Disc, I think. Yeah, Flying Disc.
Flying Disc. I never heard of that.
I have a few of them. They're like the Japan direct disc.
Yeah, they're like.
But
also, East West did that, and Bay.
Yeah.
What is it? Bayside.
Oh,
There's like a bunch of Japanese who did all the direct.
Yeah, it's like East West, but I have a few Flying Disc ones, and this is really good. Anyway, it was a nice gift.
Hank Jones.
And then I was just going. My friend Donald also lent me some cool things. I'm really enjoying this quite a bit.
Yes, good album.
This is really good.
It's double, right?
Yeah, it's a double LP. Charles Lloyd, Jason Moran, Larry Grenadier, and Brian Blade. I think I'm going to end up buying this. I haven't decided. I know the CD's really inexpensive, so I might just get the CD.
I don't think since that's reasonably a new album, I bet you can find that for $25.
Yeah, if I can find it for $25, I'll get it. And then the Taishon, he lent me this Taishon Sori.
I've never heard that.
I think it's fairly new.
Yeah, it's good.
2025, I think, or 2024, late 2024.
I've got a friend going to a music festival soon, and it has like a ton of contemporary jazz artists. Like Sori will be there.
The one in Tennessee?
I think, is it?
Big Ears or whatever? Big Ears?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's got like a bunch of the people from International Anthem.
Roger's going.
Felipe's going. Nuts and Tones is going too.
Nice.
Anyway, that's it. All good. I really thought the Charles Lloyd was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
I thought you were going to show us your Jan Garbrick records.
Yeah.
My young. Do you want to? I don't have. I mean, if I had any, they're all gone.
What? No CD this week?
Oh, Let's do a CD. Just
To a
to do
CD,
it.
yeah.
I found my old Buena Vista Social Club CD.
Oh, cool.
So
There we go.
Ibrahim Ferrer.
Oh, is that? Show
Yeah,
that
that's
again?
it.
Show that again.
I have a CD I didn't show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Buena
that's
Vista-
he's
it's
from the
one of
Buena
the
Vista.
it's one of the musicians.
He's one of the
Yeah.
Buena Vista guys. That's a great record. There's a vinyl version of that too. It's a great
Yeah,
record.
I know. This was back when
That's a world circuit.
this
I
was
love
back
that.
when I was living in San Francisco and mostly bought CDs because
Yeah.
I had a small apartment.
Yeah, that's a great record.
It's good. I like it a lot.
I like the. I bought that Buena Vista Social Club reissue that came out.
Here's a cool one. You should all
I think Ry Cooder is on.
let's see. One of my all-time favorite bands from the 80s, British band, the Chameleons.
Oh yeah.
This is a great, this is just the greatest hits. They only put out 3 albums in the 80s, and they're all fantastic.
Is almost every single song on there then if it's 2 CDs?
Yeah, well, no, because the albums are pretty long. So, yeah, it's 2 CDs, so you get a lot. You get a lot.
Yeah, you get a lot. Yeah. That's cool. I'll have to pick that up.
And you get the stuff that Chris I was telling you you'd like, because you get a bunch of stuff from the first 2 albums. Their first album is their best. I actually didn't get into them until like 87 or something. Their first record came out in I think in 83. Or maybe even 82. But a friend of mine introduced me to them, and then I got really into them. My last couple of years of high school, they were one of my favorite bands. So this is really good.
I was supposed to see them last year because they're still touring.
Yeah, they're back together. I mean, it's just Birdie and Reg. It's just the guitarist and the lead singer, bass player.
That's okay though.
But it's still the main. It's the guys that wrote everything. So it's the 2 most important pieces are back together.
Yeah,
and stuff. And yeah, they sound pretty good. Actually, I've been watching some YouTube videos. They still sound good. Maybe not as good as they used to sound.
Sure.
His
been 4
voice
years.
doesn't quite have the same, range. Really.
Uh-oh.
Problems. What CD did you have, Rob?
Oh, the one you didn't want.
Oh, it's a good record. I have the record.
But this is interesting. This is from 2015.
Weird.
Did Elemental put out
Oh.
with these weird cases? I thought it was like SACD, but it's not. This is a good album.
What do you mean, just because they're clear and thin or something?
No, it's like these weird. See, like the corners, and it has. You have to pinch it to open it.
That is weird.
But this is a good album. I have the vinyl version of it.
Yeah, me too. It's a great record.
Yeah.
Hello, Dillo Cooker. What's up, Joe?
Here's a jazzy crossover. Can I show since you're showing CDs?
Tell him no,
No.
Chris. Tell him no.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, that's great. That's not a crossover. That's just straight up.
That's jazz.
Could you just show us all your CDs with cracked?
I
Well,
don't like that
this-
record, man.
okay.
I know everybody fucking hot on that record. I don't like it.
No one cares.
Well,
Okay.
anyway,
Because Barbra Streisand's
a PR team sent me these like horribly packed, and 2 of them got
You
cracked.
can barely
show them
tell.
on 4 different streams.
These
Rob,
are
shut up
I
and
haven't
show them.
shown. I haven't shown these. These are the Quadio, and I don't have surround, but I think you can play them 2 layers. So there's this is the only jazz one. However, there are 3 great soul records. One of the great soul records. I haven't listened to this yet, but again, it's cracked. Ray Charles plays on a track. Booker T and the MGs.
I think Ray Charles stepped on the cover of that.
I know it's unfortunate. I hate that. This is a fucking great record, Roots.
Yeah, Roots is good.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great record.
Great record. And then this is a great record.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Games
Yep.
people play, Spinners. Great.
The
So it's great soul stuff.
the die cut cover on the LP is cool too.
Yeah. But I don't
What's
have
with these
surround
weird ass
anymore.
roll cases though? It's fucking weird.
I know it's fucked up, right?
Who is putting these CDs out that are sending them to you, or was this a long time ago?
No, this is Rhino is just putting these out, but their PR department, and they sent me stuff a few months ago. This is Quadio. These are
Why?
the 70s quad mixes that
Oh,
they're doing for surround. And I wrote them last time. I said, this is great. You're sending me this, but I don't have a quad thing, so I can't review them. So don't send them to me. I mean, I basically said, don't send them. And they sent them to me again. They put them in a manila envelope with a little bit of a bubble wrap, and that's it.
Jesus.
the intern did it, but I gotta have the hunch that there's not a lot of quad buyers. Like it seems odd.
No,
Yeah, that
but-
seems like
but
a
it's
very odd
actually-
format.
It's a very specific market of like Atmos people and surround. It's
Yeah,
Well,
and they
they're on a-
wait for
Rhino's
like
on a
the fucking
campaign.
Pink Floyd releases to finally get released with the
Yeah.
fucking
No,
surround.
it's a
sound.
very small but
It-
very passionate art. I'm not the audience.
Actually, Fred, they've been doing all the Zappa reissues
Pass.
Surround.
in surround like a.
Well, do you
And
have to have a
Well,
special
Rhino
player
has failed to
decode
convince
it?
me.
You have to have just
You
a
have to have a
surround like
special player?
SACD player with a
Chris is
surround.
trying to
panel.
talk. Shush. What'd you say?
What I'm saying is Quadio. Is that some kind of special format?
No,
change
it's
for the
it's
decoder
it's
for?
4-channel. So like Atmos.
Yeah,
or,
but a normal CD player doesn't decode 4 channels. It decodes
no, not a normal, but an SACD player does.
2. So are they SACDs that are 4
I
channels?
am behind.
Yes.
Where
Oh, I see. Okay. Huh. Let's get Texas Dave written all over it.
I
man.
mean, I don't doubt that. I wouldn't mind having a CD player. I don't have one, but I just cannot imagine that the market. Every time I see one of those 5.1, it's like pink. It's like one of these classic albums. Like everything you just showed. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, well,
But think about like what Chad's doing with his reel to reel, like those reel to
yeah,
reel.
there's some people out there.
I
See
mean,
that?
that even seems smaller than this market, but
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but you're charging $900 a tape.
$400,
or whatever.
$500. Yeah, it's a lot.
$100, yeah.
You're
I'm
not
not
going to
the
catch me
market.
getting up and changing a tape reel over.
So there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. The first one, I've just gone blank because I'm already hammered. What the fuck was it? What's I know.
It was,
the
it
Blue
was-
Note announcement.
no, Chris. It
No,
was
it was-
hi, it was hi, Joey. How's everything going?
Yeah, it was. Hi, Joe. What's up, Joe?
How you doing,
He,
man?
he did this just like me.
Yeah, right on.
Cheers, bud.
Right on. Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure you're drinking better wine than I am.
probably because I heard you talking about your wine last week. But hey, I'm willing to show up with some good wine and hang out with you. I heard
sick.
somebody say this is the best jazz bum stream ever, but I disagree. I think this is the best fucking stream ever.
Yeah.
Wait.
I
Who are you gonna fuck, Joey?
I don't know. I've been trying to get on for like fucking minutes because it was like I got to be a part of this.
Awesome.
Can we? Well, I'll kiss your ass for 1 minute. This is
Oh wait, well, what?
It's
Why?
making big for us, yeah.
this.
Maybe you should
these
raise
are-
money with
These
doing
are the test pressings for Joey's Dada's Record Store Day issue.
Oh, sweet.
It's a 2-record set coming out through Real Gone Music, pressed at Gotta Groove Records. And I was nervous when he brought these over, and the whole family, his sister-in-law and wife came over, and we played. I thought, what if I don't like it? And I got to like sit there with that smile. It's actually really good. It sounds
Very
really
good.
good. The first
Now,
album with
Joey, question for you.
Yes.
So these were pressed at what's the pressing plant?
Gotta groove.
No, sweet.
You know, do they, other than pressing Real Gone's albums, do they have a relationship or they're just a client of them? I always thought
I think they're just a client. I mean,
they do Intervention too. I think Intervention
Yeah.
presses their record.
well, the last the fifth 7-horse record that we put out a year ago or so, that was a Gotta Groove, and that clinched it for me. I think they're
quality. Their quality. I know they mostly press like, and the Real Guns are digital, but their quality control is awesome. They even go the extra mile.
They did your own records too.
And they put their records in rice paper sleeves. They just
Oh, that's the
do
whole
it the
thing.
right way.
Yeah.
I think I think they give you a list of options, whatever you want. And I always just, I go as high as fucking possible.
Yeah, there's the
Are you-
Gotta Groove.
Are you?
sleeve.
Do you have them? Are you dealing with them directly, or you have to go through?
No, this is all Universal / Real Gone. I've got.
Okay.
I put the truth be told, I can tell you guys. Don't tell the other 2 guys in the band. Basically, I did all the question answering. I said yes, do that. No, don't do that. they sent me the master. They mastered it for. By the way, this is the first time that record's ever been mastered for vinyl. It's a CD era record, but it was always considered like a hi-fi, like an audiophile recording. Ken Scott produced it, and Steve Hoffman jumped on it early, and it just took off. People started testing stereos out with it, and yada yada yada. I had to do an interview in like 1994, I think, with some hi-fi magazine, and I didn't I mean, I kind of got it, but I didn't totally get it. But when they did the master, they sent me. It's a digital master still, because it's a digital. That's it. It's digital recording. Most of it. I think there's 2 analog 24 track, but the rest is it's digital tape. Actually, it's the same machine that Michael Jackson was using. That was the big hype. But they sent me the master of it, and it fucking blew me away. Then the test pressing. That's why I felt comfortable going over to Mazzy's house, because it's like, this thing is sick. It sounded really good. I've never heard that album sound better since the studio. Let's put it that way.
Now, is it only coming out on vinyl, or will there be CDs of it too?
Well, it's just record store day, so it's just vinyl. But on it, I mean, look, it's one of these things where it's kind of like, we'll see. You know what I mean? It's kind of a test, so we'll see what happens. But hey, I'm fucking stoked. I've been standing in line at record store day for the last 5.5 years, thinking, God damn, I wish I had a record on record store day. Now I got one. I'm so excited.
Do I get my deposit back when I return these?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I hope my least favorite thing in my mind is to be a cooler on one of these things. If I just don't want to be that.
No. Mazzy's done that long time.
This is a notch up from Barbra Streisand talk.
Yes.
Yeah. Fred, it was interesting. This is part of this is part of why this was so good before, that you don't know who Barbra Streisand is. I guess I don't know how old you are, and you don't have to tell me. It doesn't fucking matter. But it's just, I guess when you get older, it's like you think everybody knows fucking Barbra Streisand.
He's my son's age, Joey. I need to call Joe and say.
Oh, but Joey, to kind of put it in perspective, like,
yeah.
I knew, obviously I was not alive to appreciate Jimmy Durante, but when I was Fred's age, if not younger, I knew who he was,
because he was on all the TV shows when we were kids.
Fred, I think Fred's taking it of pop culture is purposely limited because he doesn't give a shit.
Is that true? Fred? He's talking for you right now, I guess. But
Joseph,
no, well,
hey Joe, wait. Do you know who Barbra Streisand is?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay.
Who is she?
Who's Barbra Streisand?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's a famous Jewish actress and singer. Do you want me to list her?
No, it's okay.
Okay, Joseph, he has you on the internet right now. He did.
What year were you born?
90.
What month?
December.
Okay, love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Are you making sure
He's like,
the real
Joseph is 10 days older than Fred. Okay.
Can I? Yes, I'm not totally plugged into big pop culture. I'm
surprised you knew. Joe knew. I didn't know he was.
So.
I'm sorry.
2, again, the name was prolific. I'd heard a million jokes. I've heard a million, but I've never heard a record. I mean, y'all might tell me a song, and if I heard it, I'd be like, oh, okay. But, I don't know.
I guess, okay, I'm talking about kissing ass, but I mean, I've seen you around. I know you've been gone for a while, but the impression I have of you is that you are a smart motherfucker. I mean, like tax smart. So I just
smart.
People, like when they're that smart, I guess they know everything. I mean, that's not a cut. It's just interesting.
There's so many gaps, for years. Like, here's one. So David Bowie, obviously everybody knows David Bowie, but I mean, it was years into collecting before I finally picked up Ziggy Stardust and was like, I'm going to give Bowie a shot. Cause it was like a giant name, but I had never listened to Bowie, right? And so there's so many gaps. I mean, even if we go into, so I am a 20th century Americanist literature person.
Right.
That's my field. There will be books, I mean, there's just so much stuff. You know, we're in a world where there's so much stuff. Like there'll be books that people are like, "Hey, you're a 20th century Americanist. You've read this," and I'm like, "Actually, I haven't read that yet." You know, so there's just gaps in places. You know.
Right. So, did you ever see Bowie live?
I never saw Bowie live.
You never saw him live.
I'm 90.
Shit.
I was born in 90, so you know.
Right.
But I mean, I know he was around. Like I remember actually Bowie. What was Bowie's last record before he passed away?
That was really good.
I remember around Black Star coming out, people were talking about it. People were like, "Wow, this is really kind of haunting." And I remember thinking, like, I don't know Bowie. And it was just years before I checked. Actually, it was like a few years ago. I was streaming, and these Beatles nerds. I went through the Beatles discography for the first time. I mean, obviously, I knew who the Beatles were, and I had heard some of their tracks, but I'd never like sat with their discography. I mean, there's a ton of gaps like that, especially with like, you know, classic stuff.
How old are you, Fred?
34, sadly.
So I don't think that you're a garbage.
He's 10 days younger than my son. It's same month.
Well, he's older than both my kids. And I was just actually thinking, I don't know if they know Barbra Streisand. That's a good question.
I bet you should ask them. I bet they know the name, but would they be able to reference any Barbra Streisand stuff? You know,
the one that
Mazzy's son. See, but that's not fair, Mazzy, because you were probably talking about Barbra Streisand every night at the dinner table.
That's for real.
You know,
That's
actually, I heard a rumor that Mazzy used to tie his kid to a chair and sing Barbra Streisand.
You know what's funny about that? That's fair, Fred, but I don't remember seriously ever playing. I don't have any Barbra Streisand CDs or records. And I never talked to my son about, he's probably seen Meet the Fockers, and obviously he knows pop culture.
What about his mother?
No, she would never talk about Barbra
Well,
Streisand.
can we talk about the important part? And that is like, Fred, how guilty do you feel that you're only 34 and you don't know more about Barbra Streisand?
I feel guilty about a lot of things that I've done in my life, and this is not.
That's
this
deep
is,
guilt.
No,
Deep guilt is what I want to hear. I want to hear professed deep guilt.
As much as I love Barbra Streisand, I don't love her, but I like her a lot. Can we just move on?
I got some records, but they're not jazz related.
Mazzy's
They are
fault.
free improvisation related, you know, which is.
I already saw those when you showed them on your own stream 2 hours ago.
Oh God, Chris!
You know what? Hold on. While Mazzy's away, I'm just glad he didn't go. There's a Barbra Streisand Beatles connection.
I could show some Omnivore records here.
You were just, I'm sorry, I just want to throw this into put a bow on this thing. You were talking about regrets, and we were talking about David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, and we were talking about Dada Puzzle. Well, Dada Puzzle and Ziggy Stardust was recorded and produced by the same person, Ken Scott. So I made a record with Ken Scott. I fucking pissed Ken Scott off by being a total dick. In an interview in a big magazine in LA, I said just some off the cuff smart ass thing, and it has been bugging me for fucking 34 years. And I just a week ago connected up with him because of this Dada record coming out. So I wanted to send him one. I was going to write a note like, "I'm still an asshole. I'm really sorry, blah, blah, blah." But I needed his address, so I got his email address from Universal when I was over there last week doing some business on this bullshit. And he got right back to me and said, because I said this is one of the biggest regrets of my life that I pissed him off. And
that's so cool.
He's all like, "Hey, I'm sorry that this turned out to be a big regret. This is crazy. You shouldn't be thinking about this at all. We totally hooked up." He's super excited about the record. He started making fun of himself. He said I should go do a dual YouTube show with a guy in Devo who said the same fucking thing about him, and he was just cool as fuck about it. So now
is he still working?
That's gotta feel good.
He just won a Grammy. He just
For
won a
which
Grammy.
album?
It was something he did in Nashville. I don't know, but so yeah, he's still working, and he's always been very charming. He was really nice to me. It was like, oh my God. I mean, just the weight that comes off on that shit.
Wait, I'm looking at the liner notes and it says, "Fuck Ken Scott." How's that in there?
Oh no.
Hey, Fred, my son has a question for you. I got a text. because he wrote me back. I said I was surprised he knew who he was, and he says, "Yeah, I found that my accumulated knowledge from you guys gives me a much earlier media knowledge footprint. Elise, his girlfriend, is always baffled of my 50s and 60s film knowledge." And then he wrote, "Is this guy familiar with Samurai Pizza Cats?"
No.
I don't know who that is either.
Well,
I'm going to look this up.
Here's the funny thing, and this isn't like bowing to Fred. I've always got the impression he has the mind of a 60-year-old man.
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah,
he does. He's an old soul. Probably.
I'm a hermit.
But Fred, it's only different stuff. My son would not know anything about the jazz shit you talk about at all.
Yeah, but that's
different thing.
Like that was a show released when we were kids, but no, I never saw it. I mean, ask him if he knows gargoyles.
He knows gargoyles because I watched gargoyles with him.
I gotta get my charger. Hold on.
How old were you when he was born, Mazzy?
36,
okay.
35, 36, 30, something like that.
So
his mother's a year older than me, so it was 90. I was 36.
Yeah. So y'all were older parents, basically.
Is that older parent? In my generation, it's funny because a lot of my friends were about 5 to 8 years younger. So we were the only of my group of friends that had kids, and then no one had kids for another 6, 7 years. So we brought Joe to all the things with adults, and so and people would come over. He was great around adults. Obviously, if he cried or something, I'd walk out of the restaurant or walk out of the thing. But he was around older people, so he's a great guy. He's a good guy.
That's cool, man. I mean, I think it's interesting.
But I did brainwash him in the car about music stuff, like who's that? Tom Waits. Who's that? And he started doing Tom Waits interview when not interviews. Tom Waits. He would sit in the back seat going, "The piano's been drinking" at 9 years old, type of thing. So.
Yeah, he's got Tom Waits has kind of got a cartoon kind of vibe.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the only bands is funny when I would play him, the only 2 bands he hated when he was a kid, and they were the Smiths and the Talking Heads.
Oh my goodness.
And I think now he likes one of them, but I don't remember which. I think he likes the Talking Heads now. But I think he didn't like the voices, the vocals, because David Byrne and Morrissey have a certain style if you're not hep to it. But he would be into Bob Dylan was the one that I always say, who wrote this song? And he wouldn't know. And every answer was Bob Dylan. So he finally got the hang of it.
Not to cut Mazzy off, which everyone's probably asking.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Did Louis do a wardrobe change?
Yes. Much more appropriate for a stream now. Yes. What is the shirt you have underneath the hoodie?
Surith. Ungol.
Is that some like heavy metal piece of shit thing?
It's music that you would never like and you shouldn't look into, Mazzy.
Louis, what's going on, man?
Hey, Chris, can I say something? Can everyone, every single person here, wish John Young Dagon a happy birthday, please?
Happy birthday.
Oh, Dagon, yeah, happy birthday, bro.
No, wish him a happy birthday, please.
That guy's always been super nice to me.
Well, he's not a mean person, but I make up for it. He's asked me to be mean to you.
I'll bet he has.
Hey, Fred, were you ever in when you were younger? I remember the first show I ever brought my son to at the Fillmore was They Might Be Giants, and he loved that.
I love them so much.
I wasn't into them, but I
love them so much.
Like, isn't it about 20 years ago they decided to move towards doing kids records, right?
They
did a bunch.
My
this
first
is before
concert
that
is embarrassing. Like it's not. Actually, I will say that about the older generations. They're always like, "Yeah, my first concert was like fucking, I don't know, fucking some cool ass punk band from LA or something." My first concert, you got to keep in mind, I grew up in West Texas, and there's a fucking measles outbreak in the area right now because people won't vaccinate their kids. But
don't even go there. We know what that's about.
It was fucking Seether.
Seether rules. I love Seether.
They do not fucking.
I fucking love Seether. Dude, American Thighs is fucking great.
It's unfortunate, but we were lucky because shows were like $5 to $8, $5 or $6.
Seether.
Ooh, Seether, man, that shit. Horrible.
Wait.
Seether and fucking Shinedown.
No.
Oh my
I'm
God.
thinking Veruca Salt.
Yeah, the Seether.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
yeah.
thinking Veruca Salt.
That's
Not
Captain.
Veruca Salt is good. Veruca
Please
Salt.
do not associate with me. Okay. I'm thinking Veruca Salt.
That's either Geffen or GGC because I remember.
Right.
It's like butt rock. It's Seether. It was
Butt
Seether,
rock.
Shinedown.
What is butt rock?
That's butt rock.
That's
You
a
shake your
80s
butt?
rock.
Don't
bang
look
your butt?
into it. Don't look into it. You'll love it.
It's like bro rock. It's like okay, so no one
Seether
here
is
even
from
knows
South
this
Africa.
band. Y'all don't know Seether? So if
I know
you put
Seether.
on like in the
Seether's-
after the who's the
Seether
big-
has some good songs.
No, they don't. Who's the corporation that bought out all the radio channels?
Donald
Clear
Trump.
Channel.
Clear Channel. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you put on like a rock station in any town in like the 2000s, it would have been like Seether, fucking
Are they like
Creed,
soul?
Yeah.
What is it? Soul. Let your light shine down. Is it that kind of crap?
Soul Asylum. No, that's
that's not
I don't
Soul
think that
Asylum.
can.
The Collective Soul, you're thinking.
Collective Soul.
Yeah.
Is that Collective
Actually,
Soul?
that Joey's pals with them, right?
No, we just opened. They're nice, but we opened up for them about a year and a half ago.
They're awful, but I hear they're very nice.
Stained.
tour
Y'all
with.
remember
Very nice.
Stained?
Very nice. Their crowd loved us. I will
Stained.
say that.
Yeah.
Stain.
Stained like died in the
Breaking
bowl.
Benjamin.
So like half of them are Christian rock.
How about Fuel?
Three Doors
What?
Down. Oh no, Three Doors Down. It's like that type of shit.
What's that song? I'm So Alive.
Or
Pod.
what's the other?
POD? Nah, that's new metal, Rob. That shit was awesome. That was Christian.
Oh,
new
new
metal.
metal is awesome,
They were
but fucking
for the
Seether
Lord, man.
sucks.
POD, fucking, all that new metal. Man, that new metal stuff. I will say, someone actually, we talked about this on a Jazz Bump stream, and the only comment the entire stream got was, "Who's this fucking guy that likes Slipknot, man, or whatever?" Who's the guy that
True.
doesn't like Genesis
month
but
ago.
likes Slipknot? But that shit was my youth. The
Right.
Seether, I actually didn't even love Seether. I just
Doesn't
someone
make it
invited me
good.
to go to a concert, and I was like, I've never been to a concert, so I was like a kid, and I went, and it was horrible. And then when I was out in Austin, that's when I was going to like a lot of queer punk shows, and it was like a punk show every night, and those weren't any no one would know the bands. They were like local.
And they were
It's
probably
amazing
cheap.
how the
a few
music
bucks.
you grow up with is what it somehow, no matter what, the music you grow up with goes in somewhere. Whether
Yeah.
you hate it, even it's there somewhere, and it never goes away. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I do like Deftones. I still like Deftones.
Poetry on Plastic loves Deftones.
I was just listening to Deftones.
What's
the
ass
other day.
jazz? What's ass jazz?
Who's this guy that likes Slipknot but not Barbra Streisand?
Kind of shit.
That's a really fair thing to say.
That's
I love
great.
that.
That's a great comment.
Deftones is great.
think
man.
Deftones are all right,
wasn't a
but
big.
it's all their covers that are good. It's
I wasn't a
them.
big Deftones fan, but my daughter really got into them. I took her to see them, and it was a fucking great show.
The
They're
Dicks
one
were
of the three
before.
loudest bands ever to rehearse. They rehearse in the same place I rehearse at in North Hollywood, and they are on the top 3 volume at
Who?
rehearsal.
Who is this?
Fucking rehearsal, just shaking the fucking place. It's incredible.
Deftones? The Deftones?
Well, it makes sense because they're the frequency that they hit, like they all must be deaf because they're hitting like this really high, like. I mean, they
By
can
the way,
only
those
probably
guys are
only
really
hear it.
nice guys. Deftones,
Son.
super fucking nice guys.
Their cover of the chauffeur by Duran Duran is really amazing.
So the band Sun, SUNN with the little
With Sun O, right?
Yeah, they're not called Sun O. They're just called Sun.
That's
but
an amplifier.
No, I know.
Their fucking shows, and they played a low frequency, and that shit I couldn't hear for 3 days. I felt like I was gonna die of internal bleeding after leaving the show. And for those of you that are into jazz, Sun's last few records,
Isn't
they've done
everyone
some
here
free
is a jazz
improvisation records. They're not jazz, but they are improvised records, which is, for those of you into free improvisation and you don't mind a different sound, it's obviously like a deep guitar drone. Yeah, drone.
Yes,
It's just 2 people, right?
Huh?
It's
Yeah,
just, just 2 people. Is that right?
Yeah, Sun and O.
They're both playing guitar,
Sun and O.
they're down, and they get the frequencies kind of like rolling around in the room, and people are like, ah.
It's trippy.
I have the one that Steve Albini recorded, like the whole analog thing. It's great.
Is it good?
It's great. I mean, I love that drone. I love
Pyroclast is a wonderful improvised record from that. And the covers are, if I could grab them if I wasn't so lazy, but the whoever put those records out, which I think was Southern Lord, but they did like the what's the place that makes the nice jackets, you jazz nerds?
Stoughton.
Stoughton. They did like the Stoughton, like thick, nice jackets and stuff.
Tip on, double cut. Double-de-doo.
Yeah, I've got it.
There it is. There's one. Life Metal. That's
Life Metal. Yeah. And this is cool because it's
Life Metal or Live Metal?
Life.
Because metal is life, right?
Because metal is life. AAA. This was a Steve Albini thing.
Check that out.
Recorded and mixed on magnetic tape by Steve Albini.
There you go.
Vinyl mastered and cut from magnetic tape on an all analog signal path by Matt Cotton at Alchemy.
What year was that about?
2020 or something?
2019.
Oh,
2019, baby.
End of story.
I think that's recent, but that's like 6 years ago.
But the one, if you're into that, Louis, you got to get the one just after called Pyroclasts, where they were improvising everything.
This is also like. Additionally, this is beautiful.
It looks cool. Yeah,
it's cool. It is.
But you gotta know what you're getting into a little bit with this.
Nah, it's not like some of these people on this stream show free improvisation jazz records.
Sure. That's a great, and that's the way that you should approach this, because it's not exactly the same as,
Who did speak? Someone said My Bloody Valentine in the comments was the loudest band they've seen, but the My Bloody Valentine vinyl series, I don't know who's cutting those or whatever, but that series of reissues on vinyl that came out, I don't know when that was, but compared to like if you play any of their stuff streaming, I don't know who remastered it or whatever, but those are wonderful as well.
I was waiting to see if you
the loudest show I ever saw, Soundgarden came to town 2 years before Cornell passed away, I guess, and they played at this small club in Dallas. Basically, it probably holds 2,000 people, maybe. It's called Gillies. But I swear they brought their fucking arena setup, like the speakers. Those the speakers that kind of like curved down.
Those are called arrays.
Yeah, those giant arrays. They had those on the fucking stage, and they were the size of the whole fucking stage, basically, in this little ass club. And that was some loud fucking shit, man. That was super loud. Another really loud one was Rush. I've seen Rush like 5 times.
My loud one was a band that you would never consider to be loud, and it was at Winterland, which is a 5,000 person place.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't expect in a million years that Hot Tuna was the loudest band you ever heard, but Jack Cassidy and Yorma at that. I was really close to the stage, and it was the loudest I ever heard. And I've heard punk shows and Sex Pistols and Clash and other things, but
wait,
no
who was
one.
it, I'm sorry. Who?
Hot Tuna, which is the offshoot, blues offshoot, 2 of the members of the Jefferson Airplane. And I remember
the moral of that story is that it doesn't take anything to be loud.
Oh God!
Well, it takes something.
I mean, it takes energy and speakers, but like, you can be loud.
Right.
The loudest.
I re-listened to the Jefferson. I re-listened to Surrealistic Pillow the other day. That's a great fucking record. By the way, I know we were shitting on the classic rock.
But the thing is, it's great. There was great music then because no one was doing this stuff before that. So, but it's just that people hold on to it so much, like that's the only thing. So I get where you're coming from.
The loudest show I ever saw was Eric Clapton's comeback tour, Money and Cigarettes. My ears rang for a week after that.
See, if I've said this 1,000 times. I know those of you that like follow my channel, you probably heard me rant about this. If I could go back in time, another regret I have. I've done a lot of horrible things, but I really would wear hearing protection to all of those punk shows and all of that like sun and stuff like that, because I just have constant tinnitus now, and it was from all the punk and all
100%. I'm lucky in that way because I've always had like mold. Like when we were in the drum line, when it was like you're a snare drummer in a 10-person snare line, it's like this isn't negotiable. You have to wear earplugs.
Yeah,
like
I really.
Then it translated into going to like shows and stuff. It's like, holy shit! If I have to do this for this. Like this must really be hurting me.
It's not even that I was like too cool to wear them or anything. I just didn't think anything about it. Like it didn't occur to me.
I didn't think about it. I don't know how I got away with all like the hundreds and hundreds of shows I saw. I never wore earplugs. I don't know how I got away with no tinnitus or
Wait, you're getting earplugs?
I mean, I really think it was, maybe I think it was repeated. So like when I was in Austin for like summers and stuff, I mean, it was like I would go to a show, the next day we'd wake up, we'd rest, we'd go to another one. It was like every single night we were at a loud ass punk show. So I don't know if I would have like laid off for a week here and there. And I know everybody's body's different, but yeah, I mean, I do often think about that. Like I don't sit in silence really anymore for years and years because of that.
They have shit now. They have come a long way of helping tinnitus. You might want to look into it.
Yeah, this is an odd tangent, but the CEO of Texas Roadhouse, y'all, those cheap steakhouses near you. I don't know if they're out in California. Rob, y'all have those?
No, I've been there, but I saw social media. They opened up a fast food chain in Texas. Did you know that?
He got COVID and he had horrible tinnitus and he ended up offing himself. Like, so I think it drives some people, and he donated a shit ton of money before he died to like tinnitus research because like people are, I mean, I know they're working on it, but it's also one of those things where if there's certain ailments I've found that if you pay a lot of attention to them, they'll get worse, right? And so it's one of those things where like I don't think about it much. I don't,
certainly with sensory things, yeah.
Do you listen to like sound, whatever, pink noise or white noise when you sleep or anything like that?
I have a fan on every single. I have to have a fan on.
Right. Well, that's smart. See, there you. I mean, that's dealing with it.
Yeah, but that's just for the voices.
I do white noise. I do rain.
Listen, Dustin. I will say for a cheap steak, if you don't want to go all bougie and spend $100 on a steak, I think Texas Roadhouse for a cheap,
bullshit. Like if you want a cheap steak, cook it yourself.
Not like Cattleman's. You
don't get the rolls.
The Cattleman's is a step above.
Throw a knob of butter as big as a fucking MLB baseball on it, and there it is.
That's stupid. You don't need that much butter.
Chris,
what?
We're gonna fucking leg wrestle the next time.
That's the name of
my game, and I got murdered while we were doing the stream. I forgot about my game, so bad things happened to me.
I think this is a Jazz Bum record. That there's only 23% jazz in this edition.
There's way less than that. This is
more people watching than almost ever.
I know. Felipe's
why do you think that is?
What is the audience right now?
Okay, I'm going to tell you my loudest show.
Okay.
Neil Young.
At
a church.
Gross.
And it was everyone in Crazy Horse except the drummer was from the Blue Notes, and it was at a church in Eureka, California, and they destroyed the PA system that was there. So the speakers were just
ripped
flat out, just farting at the end.
Yeah,
they were just farting, and it was so freaking loud, and I couldn't hear for about 3 days. But it was a really good show.
Well, that's like Neil Young. I saw him when Sonic Youth opened up, and it was similar, but that was a larger venue.
Yeah, but I've seen Sonic Youth live, and they're not close to as loud as. I've seen Sonic Youth 3 times, and they weren't even close to as loud as.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
It was painful, but really good. Painful.
I thought Kiss was pretty loud, as far as just my memory goes.
Yeah,
but I had to back up at the Neil Young show because I couldn't stay up front, even though I wanted to. It was just too loud.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a church, so not a huge place.
Hold on, you said it was a church.
I would destroy Louis.
I said it wasn't a church, so not.
It was in a.
It wasn't, or was in.
It was in.
Oh,
Was in a church.
You don't wrestle your
I thought
arms.
you said-
You
it sounded like it
wrestle your
wasn't
arms.
a church. Okay,
No, was in a church.
got it.
That was no longer being used as a church. It
We
was
got- okay.
an event.
No
center.
religious shit going on.
It was the Eureka Event Center or something like that.
I think I've been to louder raves than concerts.
In Eureka, California?
Mm.
Oh my
Eureka,
god!
California.
Fucking in terms of SPL, a rave has to beat any rock concert.
Yeah, there's like clubs, like the gay clubs I used to go to in the '90s. You would be bleeding out of your ears when you left.
I've never been to a rave. I've had friends super into them. I know people go and they're clean, but I think that would have been more appealing to me. I mean, basically, since I've been clean, I've been like Rob says, like a 70-year-old, like kind of, like I'm uninterested other than the punk stuff. But I just haven't ever gone out.
I never went to a rave where I wasn't on at least 3 or 4 different drugs.
Punk makes it easy, right? Because you got straight edge and stuff. But like fucking dude, in LA to a proper LA rave, the fucking like the bass hits you in a way that like you're in a fight.
Yeah, but Dallas in the '90s was second only to New York as far as the rave scene went.
I'm sure they're all the same in terms of SPL because I know how many volts and
SPL, I'm just talking about the whole scene.
About the scene.
Well, yeah, sure, but like it's in terms of loud, there's only so many watts that can come out of a 20 amp.
Louis wants to have a meetup at the Electric Daisy.
Well, you have to go 220, bro.
Well, because of the way that sound.
You just have the 3-phase fucking setup.
Because they don't make sound equipment that way. So but the point is, it's still way more than you can handle.
If you listen to the music and then take a 110 circuit and attach it to your nipples every time the bass hits?
Have you seen the Jamaican like sound system culture scenes with like the big ass horns and like
I love that
subwoofers down?
Yeah.
I've never
heard
the
sound systems, right? That's what they call them, the sound systems, and like the
Like, I watched a documentary on it the other day. It was cool, man. You should have seen. Speaking of Technics 1200s, I've said for years that's my favorite table because I've moved 700 times. It's been chunked around. It's like a tank, man. Those sound systems, those Jamaica. I watched a documentary. You should have seen the 1200s in that thing. It looked like they had been through a war and they were still trucking along. It was like, DJs,
Well, you could put them right on top of the subs and they'd still track.
Yeah, they're just tanks,
Crazy.
Man.
Yeah, 100%. I love my 1200.
I'm gonna get a G. I'm gonna get a 1200G eventually. That's
that's kind of
G unit.
Yes. Serwin Vegas and
Alltech horns. Yep, Rex. Yeah.
G unit.
Yeah.
Isn't Neil Young?
There's actually like a Reddit community of nerds into that sound system stuff that are DIY audio, throwing all that stuff together. It's pretty cool to look at some of their like creations,
I mean, I gotta say, the Dead started that whole fucking thing about
with the Wall of Sound.
I saw that Wall of Sound show at the Cow Palace. That first was it 73 maybe something, whatever it was, when they had the first big massive. I mean, it's what I remember though. I don't remember it being the loudest show ever. It was just
hi-fi,
good sound.
Yeah. Who did the guys go in to start? They started making regular hi-fi shit. Is it
Mason? Not Mason.
Macintosh.
Is it Macintosh or
no?
Is
it's not. It was
like Grell or something like that.
No, it starts with an M.
Macintosh.
Who designed the Wall of Sound? And
Macintosh, bro.
Well, it was powered by Macintosh because that was fucking Jerry Garcia's favorite amp of choice.
Okay.
Oh, it's fuck. I used to have. It's Parasound.
No.
Parasound.
No.
Someone Rick said Mark Levinson.
Dead guys.
No.
Mark Levinson. Meyer.
I mean, if we're talking about what powered the original Wall of Sound and the whole Grateful Dead sound, it was Macintosh for sure.
The people that built that shit.
Yeah, but the guy that came out of it.
Hold on. Mazzy's talking.
No, they used Macintosh, but what came out of it was a Bay Area company. Fuck, what did they turn into?
Oh, here we go. Let's take 45 minutes to figure this out, Mazzy.
It starts with an M.
Mark said Olympic.
No, not Olympic.
No.
This is riveting.
Olympic, they make guitars and basses. They made Jerry Garcia's, Garcia's guitar. They also made the bass by Lesh, his bass.
Yeah, are they?
The acid guy was Bears, Owsley. That was someone different.
Are alembic basses like? Are they fretless? Is
No.
that like,
No. They're just
Well,
all hand carved. It's all like they were some of the first
yeah.
carved wood. They use exotic wood. They used really high quality components. They had.
Is it Meyer? I think it's Meyer sound, right?
Dude, the point is that the wall of sound that the Grateful Dead had envisioned was a terrible idea from the very beginning anyway.
It was a great idea.
Well, the idea was good, but the implementation of it was never going to work because having the main sound of the band behind the band is just a terrible idea.
It looks
especially
good.
now
But
with in-ear monitors. Like
but if you have Peachy folders when you were a kid, you know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the kind of sound system you draw on a Peachy.
Yeah,
folder.
of course
That's
it is. But that doesn't make it a great idea because you drew that when you were in sixth grade.
It wouldn't work enough for them to hear themselves. So the guitars had to have big amps so they could hear themselves.
Yes, of course. And it was just a terrible idea in every possible like human hearing interacting with music way. Totally.
Yeah, it's not
the audience suffered, the band suffered, everybody suffered.
Right.
But
But
now we have in-ear
worked
monitors and fucking mains and everything is great.
I think you have
lots of
enough
people like
for
wedges.
a Lifetime movie about this, Louis.
The company I was thinking of was after the
It'd
Wall
be
of
an after-school special.
You're
if
right
anything.
that the Wall of Sound was using Macintosh, but the company I was thinking of in the late 70s was John Meyer Sound.
Wait. So I was right, but you're thinking of something else?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
you're
okay.
right
I
about
just
that.
wanted to make sure.
But Meyer Sound was developed in the late 70s, and the ultra modern system was long associated with the Grateful Dead. And he also used in 70 millimeter releases with Coppola for Apocalypse Now in certain theaters. Meyer Sound was one of the first things before Dolby even to do custom sound things in theaters.
The only thing that matters to me, Mazzy, is that Chris is more mad at you than he is at me.
Why are you mad at anybody? I mean,
I'm
you're
not mad at
absolutely
anyone.
right. But I was thinking of John Myers.
He's
John
concerned
Myers-
about you, Louis.
Yeah.
You've already changed clothes twice.
That's because he sweat through his
Fuck you
first
guys.
outfit.
I'm getting pizza.
Oh,
Oh,
Damn, that's not, we can't talk
He's
it
not
through.
getting pizza.
oh. Okay,
He's making
everyone-
one in the oven.
What's your favorite frozen pizza brand?
I know the answer. There's only one answer.
I have an answer.
I don't like
Let's
frozen
come to you
pizza.
last.
Well, hold on. Does everyone
Come to you
believe-
last, Rob. No, if you have a really good
But-
idea, we'll come to you
but-
last.
But here's a scale. Does everyone believe the worst pizza you ever ate and the best pizza you ever ate are really not that much different than each other?
No, fuck
No
no.
way,
dude.
No,
Yes.
no.
We're talking
no.
frozen pizza. Frozen pizza. Louis, what's your
There's
favorite frozen
one
pizza?
out of Chicago that I think they sell nationally now
Don't
called
ruin
Home
it.
Run. That
God
Home
damn
Run
it,
pizza-
Rob. That's
yeah,
the best.
he wants
I've
that.
never
is.
had a frozen pizza that tastes as good as a real
Oh,
pizza.
go get a Home Run pizza. They sell it
The Home Run
nationally
pizza.
now.
there you go.
No, I agree with Brandon.
That
I
wasn't
don't
the
think
question.
the question is the best frozen pizza.
Yes.
It's still not as good as the media.
Yeah,
mediocre
okay.
real
So the
pizza.
best frozen pizza I've ever had was great because of things that had nothing to do with what a good
You were
pizza tastes
high.
like.
Right.
Yeah, right. Because I was in high school and it was Tombstone.
Right.
Okay, that's horrible.
Oh my god.
No, it's terrible. See,
No.
that's the thing is I have to be able to defend myself because yes, it is terrible.
Okay, not to be a dick, but has anybody here besides me been to Italy?
No.
Yeah,
What
I've
a
been
dick
to-
Okay.
move, by the way.
What a
Felipe,
dick
that's
move.
the
Come
Felipe
outta here.
move.
Because
Who gives a
that's
shit?
where fucking pizza lives. I mean,
Yeah,
that.
but their pizza's
Frozen
different.
pizza, man.
Their
This
pizza's
is the
different,
stoner
though.
frozen pizza chat.
This isn't that
Yeah.
difficult.
The other day, Chris,
Frozen pizza.
the other day, Chris, I was having it was a cheat day, and I was like, I'm gonna get a fucking pizza today, man.
Yeah.
And I call this local place. I'm like, I'll try a local place out. So I'm in New Town, and I'm like, hey, I want a pizza. And they said, what size? I said, I don't think the big one, the big
Yeah.
pizza. You know that the large pizza is what I meant.
The big one's huge.
Oh my god! I go in there to get my order. It's like if you're throwing one of those parties and
you got
it's
like
a
the party
36-inch fucking tank of a pizza.
Yeah.
Fucking nightmare. Me walking
How
out.
much
They
was-
actually
how
on
much
the
was it?
menu they tell you the sizes of the pizza.
Well, they asked on the phone, and I was like, I don't know, the big one, like the biggest
The
one.
big one.
How
That's
did you
off
get
the
it
menu.
done?
The big one's actually
that's
off
off.
the fucking menu.
Yeah, exactly. It's off
It
menu.
wasn't even great pizza for my fucking.
Anyway, Rob is correct. The best frozen pizza.
Pagliacci. You had this last
Hey.
time, Joe.
Why did you get mad at me? Did you know what my answer was going to be?
Well, that was my answer. Yes.
What was it?
Home run.
See,
dude.
home run's different. It's not. They're from
Good.
Chicago, but it's not Chicago style pizza.
Yeah, I
But
don't
the
like
crust
this.
is cornmeal. It's a cornmeal crust.
What the fuck is that?
It's that dog.
That's my bulldog.
It was that dog that was
Oh
supposed
my
to make
God.
Fred millions of dollars.
It's the
Is
pizza.
that Barbra
dog.
Streisand
The
record
pizza
you're
dog.
playing?
Yeah, she heard pizza. She came up.
Wait,
Yeah.
let me see that dog. Yes.
Yes.
That was the dog that
Let's
was
see if
going
I
to
can
make
get
Fred a
it.
millionaire.
Dexter will freak out if he sees her. Come here, Dex.
What's the name? Is it a girl or boy?
It's a girl.
What's her name?
Billy.
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 I love it.
Really?
I love Billy.
Don't be a girl.
She was quiet,
Hey.
then she got all jacked up, and now she's.
Mark
Come-
H. That dog doesn't have a sinus infection. It's inbred.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, dude, that's the fucking fast cash people with the French bulldogs.
Yeah.
Here's this is my Sasha.
Yeah, but that's like a mutt dog, right?
Yeah.
Sort of.
It's like Bluey.
Cattle dog.
Yeah,
Louis.
Bluey.
So those are the dogs like in good cowboy movies that they have with them, right?
Yep.
Yes. Or Mad Max.
Even
Yeah.
bad
It was
cowboy
like-
movies, they have them with them.
I did put mushrooms, psilocybin on a pizza once.
Yeah, no one gives a
That
shit.
work out.
No, I'm responding to a comment.
And then you get to throw up the pizza before you get high. That
No,
sounds
you don't
good.
throw up on mushrooms. Come on.
Every
No,
time.
Dude, feed 'em
I
raw.
never
Raw
have.
dog
I
and you
never
would-
have.
I have.
That's peyote.
Every time I took mushrooms, I threw up and
Were
then
they-
I got high.
They were fresh. Were they fresh?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah, but
knows?
you
I'm
were
not here in
also
West
shooting
fucking
heroin
Texas.
the
Who
same
knows?
time you were doing mushrooms.
But Fred, were they fresh or freeze dried?
I guess they were probably freeze dried. I can't
Wow,
remember. I mean, I've been clean for 13 years, so it's been a long
I've
time.
barfed on fresh and dried mushrooms in the past.
See?
Yeah, I barfed on mushrooms once, but
Yeah,
it
it's fucking nasty, man.
was like
I think.
once out of 20.
Hey, Joey, do you feel a writing spur?
Yes.
I
yes,
barfed on
yes.
mushrooms.
Yes.
Joey,
Yes.
hey, Joey, can
Yeah.
we talk about your can you update me, not now, but like at some point after this, about your songwriting experience? Because I'm in the throes of the same thing. I just finished the record, so I want to know, like, I want to hear what your whole
Are you
thing
talking
was
about last week?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was good. It was a solid week. It was actually a fucking great week. So
yeah. I want to know gory details though.
All right. Well, let's get on the phone and talk about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
What's
wait,
the
you finished the new record you're talking about.
I
Obviously.
finished the new record. I'm releasing a new record and a 7-inch.
I love
And a
it.
7-inch.
Yeah.
and an EP.
Are you going to have a subscription to your vinyl releases from now on?
Yeah.
Like,
We don't like the etiquette, Mazzy, is that we don't the etiquette is that we don't talk while we're
Well,
eating.
I just hope that when I get my copy, I have the highest number.
It'll be a
I don't
10 like I'll press 200 and yours will be 482.
Can I get to 203?
I just want to make sure I don't get pizza drippings on these
No,
tests.
There's a way to
Joey,
do that, Mazzy.
Joey, when he sent out the copies after we ordered his record, it was like we all got the highest numbers.
Excellent.
It wasn't
a low
we
number.
all. Yeah,
And he
no,
was
it's
sitting-
weird. Joey got a
he
super
was
low
sitting
number.
there with a pen, and he
Chris
wrote
got,
a
Chris got a super
giggling
low
to
number.
himself, laughing demonically.
Who's laughing demonically?
I'm
Louis, as
always
he was
like the only
giving
way I
us
know how
high
to laugh is
numbers on the
demonically. If I'm being
Records
honest.
we bought from him.
Hey, Lou, let's do mushrooms tomorrow and go to record stores.
Yeah, I'm down 100%.
Liar.
You know, no, I will. You're too much of a pussy to do
Shouldn't
it.
you
But I
have done
will
this on
absolutely do it.
Valentine's Day?
You won't do mushrooms with me.
Every time I'm on the
I'm
Jazz Bump
taking
stream,
the kind of
Louis,
essence-
Chris, talk about going record shopping, and I'm not sure that it happens as often as.
Oh my, it fucking does. It really does.
Well, Chris was
actually.
like, "It's a pain because we got to drive out to fucking
Well,
Denton or whatever."
Hold on, let me be fair, and this is important. Make me big for this.
Okay, hang on.
Make me big because I get
Better
to
not
be big
disappoint.
once in a while.
This better pay off.
It is completely fair for Chris to complain that he has to drive all over hell and creation to hang out with me because I don't drive very
At
far.
all?
I do drive. I do, and I will, and I should. But driving like an hour or something like that gives me a shitload of anxiety, which is something that I should do a better job of controlling, but is nevertheless something that is a reality. So he comes to me because we go to our Denton local, which has a fantastically good consistently good jazz selection. So
Who recycled?
Recycled.
Yeah,
and we go there, we fuck around and like we'll spend too much money on records, and then we'll go to this burger place that's nearby and we'll have a great time. And so that's how we have done what we do. And he'll come back to my place and we'll hang out for a little while or whatever. That's not to say that I'm not willing to go hang out with Chris. It's just this is how things have gone so far. And
yeah, but all the record stores here suck compared to recycled.
Well, so like I'm not trying to like be like the leech where it's like, oh, Chris always has to come to me. It's just that's how it has worked.
That's what a leech does, though.
We were just giving you shit, Louis.
No. It's
anxiety riddled.
It's important for me to tell the truth about these things because, well, here's the thing is because I would love it if I could hang out with Chris every day. And we only hang out every once.
You get caught between the moon and New York City.
How often do we hang out? Like once every 2 or 3 months, probably.
No, it's more often than that. More like once a month.
So
Chris,
Louis,
what town are you live in?
Huh?
What town are you in?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth.
He's in Fort Worth proper. I'm in like a middle suburb of Dallas. Is like Flower Mound is where I live.
Louis lives in the middle of Clan Land.
Louis, you're considering still coming here like in the early summer or something, apparently.
Well, I was, but then when I texted you about it and you're like, well, I got to give this some time to think about it. I stopped that.
You said
like,
March,
never fucking talking to Mazzy again, ever in my fucking
You said
life.
March, May, or June. I said March is not good. May or June are fine. That's what I said.
May or June. Definitely May or June.
What's the Jazz Bums record for a stream? Was it like 12 hours?
I don't know, but at the end you left 45 up.
Well, no, it wasn't at the end.
Right.
45 was on for like 2 hours, dude.
That's all right.
Do you expect Joey and I to take you out to record stores when you come here?
Well, that's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
I expect to have a good time.
Here's
with
what
my
I
friend.
expect. If I come
That's
with Louis,
all.
I expect to meet at least one member of Pearl Jam at Easy Street when I'm there.
Right. Two of the members
Hold on.
live.
Mazzy, can I ask you a question? What do you and Joey do when you hang out with each other? Go to record stores?
Sometimes.
What do you mean? We do it a
You
lot.
live, live in the same
we don't
city?
always.
I mean, I want to. I definitely want to have a good
Louis,
experience.
can I say something? Here's
Yeah,
what's
of
going to
course.
happen. You're going to go, I can't wait for Chris. So you'll have the courage and drive yourself to the record store. As you walk in, Chris and his brand new friend are walking out.
Right.
I don't have any other friends besides Louis. Louis, can you address this comment?
Is Louis Dudley Moore? And yeah, that's fair. Absolutely. 100%. That's fine.
Someone
I'm
was
okay with that.
asking about recording
Rick's
Ken Scott. Oh, Rick's was asking over.
What?
I was
About
asking what? If you're going to bring it up, you have to ask the
Well, you
question.
can scroll up and see.
You can scroll up and see.
What
I
was the
don't-
top thing you learned about recording? There we go.
Oh, that's a Joey question,
I have,
right?
I have a first question. Who is Ken Scott? I don't know who that is.
Oh,
He's a producer. He produced Ziggy Stardust and Spiders from Mars. He started
shit.
with the Beatles.
he was an
Yeah.
engineer on Abbey Road. He was an engineer, not on Abbey Road, on the White Album. He was engineer.
Okay.
On the White
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
on White Album, and
Which is really called the Beatles.
what's the album before Ziggy Stardust? I'm spacing out right now. The one with
Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory. Thank you. He did those two records. He did Supertramp, Crime of the Century. He did a bunch of
cool.
fucking big records. He's really good. I mean, What was the question? What was the biggest from Ken Scott?
Yeah, about recording, I guess.
I mean, Ken Scott is like a very particular motherfucker. I mean that, and I think that freaked me out, to tell you the honest truth. He's very English, and he kind of like, he sits back and he waits for you to be good, which is kind of like the smart thing to do in a lot of ways, right? But I was like, I need more direction, and I now it's like, okay, I get it. I don't need more direction. Just fucking be good and shut the fuck up.
How old were you then? Like 30-ish, 32?
31, 32, yeah.
Oh, the Beatles had already split up by your age. So God.
Exactly. I know.
Not everything has to have a historical Beatles reference.
I always tell you I suck. I don't say that I don't suck.
I just,
Well, I mean, yeah, so Mazzy's standard is if you're not the most successful band of all time, you're shit.
God damn it, Mazzy. Why do we tolerate you is my question.
I love Mazzy. Shut up.
But Ken Scott's fucking, he's a master. I mean, he's a fucking genius kind of guy. He was very.
The Beatles.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
He would like.
Who is doing the background music?
That's Matt. You can tell by the
muted now.
Face.
You son of a bitch. Why would you do that on a live stream?
Not me.
This is your first day on the internet.
Louis, take it down one notch.
It was, I will say this, it was so fucking fun to record a record with Ken Scott, because every day I'd ask him questions about Bowie or,
Well, Birds of Fire was produced. Oh, no, I'm thinking the one before that. What's the one that George Martin produced, the one before Birds of Fire?
Birds of Fire is kick ass, though.
Yeah, but what's the one with the flautist on the cover?
Oh, shit.
That was the Flame on the cover.
The Flame, whatever. No, that's not the one. What's the one? George Martin produced one of those for Mahavishnu.
Well,
with the orchestra.
I didn't record with George Martin, but I met George Martin at the BMI Awards. He was a very nice guy, very proper.
George Martin Mahavishnu Orchestra.
You talking about the Intermountain Flame?
Yes, Intermountain Flame. Intermountain.
That was the first one. Yeah, let me share my screen. We can talk about jazz for a second.
That was my kind of intro to jazz, was that kind of shit. Because it was rock jazz, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Jazz is going to fuck up the string.
Yeah, Apocalypse. He produced Apocalypse. This one.
Well, hang on, Mazzy. God damn it.
Okay. That's not the one he produced. This is the one that George Martin produced.
Oh, yeah. This one's a better record, though, probably.
Yeah, this one has a big orchestra. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
But he self-produced that one.
Yeah, I love this record. But you were talking about Birds of Fire.
That was Ken.
So when we did a stupid Jazz for Metalheads episode once, and
it says Mahavishnu produced that.
We did the Jazz for Metalheads thing. Me and Felipe dreamed it up, and it was kind of dumb. We just showed a bunch of shit. It really got a negative reaction from several people because we didn't mention we didn't mention like Birds of Fire. Like the first thing you show them is Birds of Fire, you moron fuckers.
Did Dark Magus get brought up in the Jazz for Metal?
No.
More like Turds of Fire, am I right?
No.
Come on.
It was cool though, because then
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Final Richie did a
As you eat Totino's pizza rolls.
Are you talking about Sad Salad's favorite recipes now, Rob?
Brain salad surgery.
That's a great record. Brain salad surgery.
Who is that?
ELP. I mean, talk about taking mushrooms and listening to a record.
That's what the H.R. Geiger cover that opens up, and it's got the traditional English great hymn, Jerusalem.
I don't want to freak anybody out, but I did take a lot of acid and mushrooms and mescaline and anything else that you could get in pill form or whatever back then. So
when
loved all those records.
Earlier today.
Now, when was this? When was your psychedelic era?
Statute of limitations.
Are you talking about age wise or years? What
years?
You mean in the history of mankind years?
Yes, history of mankind years.
Okay,
yes.
So no one's going to talk about it after the stream, though, right?
Well, I mean, you're putting it on the internet forever.
Yeah, you're going to want to be careful about
because
that.
I fucking lie about my age at all times, even to myself. So just to be clear about that. We're talking about 70s. 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 70s.
Okay, well, I was like
Fucking
a 3-year-old then.
motherfucking 70s. We're talking
Wow.
about Owsley acid, sheets of Owsley acid.
Uh-oh, look what happened.
Delicious.
I
Delicious.
know.
Just lost the connection.
I ended up with Ken Scott, and now we're friends. I love it.
Does he live in the States or is he in England?
He's in England. He's got a great address. It's like one of those, the greatest, like every English word in a row address. But
So wanker, twat, twit, cunt.
Drive.
he was very gracious to a guy who was a fucking
Boulevard.
dick.
Well, I'm sorry I missed that because my internet just took a shit. So you said 70s.
Yes, 70s. That's it.
Hmm.
Fucking 70s.
Mine was like 92 to 98, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Wow.
Well, I quit taking acid when I was 17. I quit taking mushrooms when I was 20. I quit snorting coke when I was 25. I mean, all that shit is not good for making.
That's actually well, I didn't make music, but that's about the same with my time frame. I didn't quit acid until I was probably 22 or 23. But
Hey, Grizzly Adams is not.
Wait.
Are you not going to be allowed on Patrick's stream?
We got to give Harry the code. Name 3 jazz bass players. Jazz bass players.
Wait, what?
Jocko, Gary Talent, who does play.
He's a jazz bass player.
you had me at Jocko.
I don't know. Jocko's the only
well,
one. I
figured Ron Carter was going to get thrown in at least.
Who did the clown? The guy that did the clown.
Mingus. Okay.
Now, Harry, can you name all the reindeer in order?
No. Can you name all the 7 dwarfs?
Yeah, Trump.
Can you?
Sneezy, Scratchy.
Neither of those are dwarves. It's like Dopey.
I thought
Scuzzy, Smutty.
I don't think Scuzzy is one either.
The slutty one. Slutty.
Is it Stunty one?
Stunty's definitely one of them. The guy that did the clown. That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
The guy that did the clown. Yeah. That's a great record, though. I got the 75th anniversary Atlantic pressing of it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need to get that because I don't have that record. Wait, the one did Chad do that, or was it just
Chad did that?
Oh,
I have
That's a
like
Ron Carter.
I have a speaker's corner.
Wasn't Ron Carter the one that was into like hi-fi gear? And I think Ron Carter, I think he was super. I think I saw an interview where he was like talking about how he was teaching for several years, and am I making this shit up? And he wanted a good system that recreated the music like you were there, and he was kind of chopping it up hi-fi.
And it was funny. We reached out to Ron Carter's people. He has people, and to interview him. Like this was like when we first started, probably, and he was like, "This was like, no, but you can go see him at this show and go backstage and ask him a couple of questions if you want." Or like,
That's cool.
I'm not in New York. I mean, it's like whatever,
Yeah, but that's funny because he is very social media active, hugely.
No, he is. He's awesome.
He's got the longest fingers in the world.
Do you
He
like
does.
that, man?
No, because I was at a shoot.
And I measured him.
I had his, and he had his fingers on the base.
He was picking his nose from down here.
The longest fingers in the world.
No, it's amazing stuff. Yeah.
What's the Steve Martin movie where he has like the super long nose?
The Roxanne.
With Neil Young's wife.
Good, awesome, dude.
That's a good movie.
With Neil Young's wife. Yeah.
His current
Look,
wife.
here's a stereophile. Here's a stereophile article. Musicians as audiophiles, Ron Carter, and it has like a picture of his home setup and his rack and all that. It's like Bel Canto stuff, and he's got all sorts of crap. So I wasn't making that up.
There's
This is a very cutting response, Mark. He said Ron Carter's never said no to a recording date, so him turning you down says something. I was like, oh no.
He is kind of on a lot of records, but
yeah. What's the lamest record he played on?
Well, he did play on. Oh my God, what's the guy's name? We interviewed him. Fuck, he's a guy from Europe. can't remember his name now. We interviewed him on a year
Oh
ago.
my god, he interviewed him. Doesn't remember his name.
I know.
He's interviewed a lot of people.
You know, Ron Carter's so prolific. He's done a lot of really cool shit. And yeah, some of those like 80s records, man, were not, you know.
Sure. I'm not really a big fan of records that he's led, generally.
Oh, that's no.
There is one.
He's not
There
that
is
good.
one
There's
where
a couple.
he's making the bass talk.
Yeah,
One of
but
his
he's
solo
amazing.
records, I forget which one. It is awesome.
Not
Is it
solo
where?
records, and lead records. That one he's got on CTI is pretty kick-ass. What's that called, Rob?
Well,
It's got a
he
bunch
has
on
like
CTI.
4 or 5 on CTI.
Yeah, but what's the main
The one
one?
on
Blues,
the
All
one where
Blues?
he's kind of standing in a box on the center.
Yeah.
With Joe Henderson's on it.
Yeah, that's
that
a
one's
great
good. Yeah. But
that one's good. Then what's the one that it just got reissued? It's him and somebody else on New
This
Jazz.
one's really good.
Mal Waldron.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
him.
one is good too. That was just
This one's great.
on Embryo. That's
Embryo.
Hmm.
Get this one.
Yeah.
It's still fairly inexpensive. At least 10 years ago it was.
Not anymore, Brian.
Yeah, he seems like a really friendly guy.
I'm done with buying records, man. That's just too expensive.
All Blues is the CTI. I was
I'm
saying,
about
I
there.
thought you showed like 4 today, Brandon, that you had.
or Spanish
2 were
Blues,
lent
man.
to me, and
2 were lent, yeah.
one was given
You have
to
some
me.
good friends, man. Nobody lends me shit. Lou don't even let me look
One
at
was
it.
given to me by the same
you ain't
person,
getting shit,
and,
Chris.
the other
Yeah,
one,
better anyway.
the Enja one was $10. So
Yeah. You know,
I'm
that's
not
what I'm
buying
saying,
expensive
though.
records
That's
anymore.
the world. This is what I meant by it's not fair. There are a lot of good $10 jazz records, but not so many like sitting on my Discogs want list. And then Rob's just out in the wild.
Yeah,
he's
Rob's
not
a
even here
fucking
to shit on
sniper,
it.
dude.
Yes.
I know. And
Yeah,
then
we gotta
Rob,
put
Fine
these in
person.
line.
He
They
lives
gotta
in
put in the
LA.
effort.
if
My
the
ass
world
is
were
hard.
There's
just,
1 million people there.
if the
He
world
lives
were
in a
just,
giant
Rob wouldn't run into
metropolis.
shit out in the wild, but he runs
If
into
you
all
live
this
in a record store town, you can just go
I don't-
shopping.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
not blaming him at all. I'm
I
just saying,
am.
like, he's a fucking
Oh, I'm
sniper.
envious.
I'm blaming him.
Jeez,
You know,
I wish I could do
he's
that.
educated himself, and he's like, I'm a fucking sniper, and this is how you be good, and he's fucking awesome.
All right,
I don't
Rob,
get
those
everything.
were your 50 records.
You're
We
just
haven't-
trying to get the discount code for the next auction, Louis.
I can't, dude.
What do you want
I'm
me to
not
do?
doing
You're
that.
gonna have to
One more record.
rebrand as the Boomer Sniper.
Disco Pete is it's Heroes Pizza or whatever that is.
Hey, okay, here's a good one. I don't know if anyone would care. Okay,
I like
I'm
that
going to teach everyone to easily find a record that could go for a little bit of dough. Just a
Wait,
little bit.
wait.
All right. That'll go for some dough.
The QX.
Okay. Yeah, so this record right here is you see it all over the place. Ugh. You see this record all over the place. When you see it, open it up, pull the record out.
This is what I do with every record. This is worth
Okay.
Hold on.
Yep, that's it.
Is it a QX? Because you can see
Yeah,
through it.
it's the
right?
translucent Quax fit. And this has some marks on it. I don't hear them. This sounds really nice. So no one knows this one unless some of them are labeled, but they're not. Go get this and then buy it for $5 and sell it for 15 or $20.
I mean, that's good information if I want to buy that album, but like
But-
you're
but-
making
but-
you're
but-
making flippy floppy. What I want,
No,
is
I'm
for
not
shit
making
that
it
I can
flippy
keep.
floppy, dude. It's learning shit like this.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
actually, that
no,
record is
I'm not.
for
I'm
you,
not
Louis.
downplaying the information. I'm just saying, like, I'm not looking to flip anything.
I am.
No,
Look,
but I'm not
Rob,
even
For a good
out
price.
in Texas, there wasn't, and this I've said this 1,000 times, but it's so true that like if you're in New York City, the chance of you running across a bunch of this jazz stuff, even we go back to like original Blue Notes and stuff like that, but the distribution networks for jazz, even into 70s, 80s, like out in Texas, unless you find some jazz collector that croaked and then sold his collection to the record store. And I mean, obviously there are in like a big area like DFW, you're going to find jazz collectors, but not like the original places where either the music was happening or there was distribution or whatever else.
Totally.
Like,
Okay,
I will judge. Hold on. Side note: I'll judge a city based on the record stores in that area. When I go in and look at the used bin, like everyone fucking hypes up Santa Fe, New Mexico. Go to their fucking record stores, all of them. Look in the used bin. It's all dad rock. It's all fucking, and that's how you know there's not shit happening going on around there. You know, like if there's interesting shit in the used bins, then there's interesting people in the fucking area.
That's awesome. I love that. That is
So
cool.
Chris, remember when I found the Dexter Gordon Our Man in France or Paris?
In Paris, yeah.
And it had the Blue Note 75 thing on it?
Yes, but it wasn't.
Actually, they did the Music Matters. This came out the same year. It had a Blue Note 75th anniversary sticker on it.
Oh, weird.
I bought the seal.
I have a theory now.
Yeah.
Rob is trying to pass off the 75th series shit as Music Matters Jazz reissues. That's what
Sounds about
okay.
right.
Hey, fuckhead. The 75th ones were in gatefold.
Let's see the inner hinge. Let's see the inner hinge because the inner hinge tells the true story, right?
But the ones were in gatefold, dude.
No, the inner hinge.
He doesn't want to show it because he's going to be revealed.
What does the inner hinge have?
The inner hinge of the gatefold, the inside of the gatefold. Just show.
Yeah. What about it?
Well, if it's a gatefold, it's obviously.
You want to see if it's split?
No.
And it goes.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Closer. Yes. So whenever you see that the inner hinge is pasted directly to the board like that, you know you got a good jacket. It's stout.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I can be.
Is that tip on double cut?
It's definitely it's not double cut. It doesn't mean anything.
Double cut, thick, double cut.
It's got girth, bro.
What?
Nothing. What?
No, I heard it.
Joey, I don't know if you saw my comment earlier, but my local record store said she hopes she's going to be able to get some Dada records.
Hope is not a strategy.
Like,
Hope
wow.
is a strategy.
Because she was only trying to get 3 copies because there's 3 of us here that want it. She says, I hope.
I mean, that's how it goes, right? On record.
I know. Yeah, you don't know who's going to get it and who isn't.
That's how baseball go.
I know I'm going to have to fucking buy a shit ton of them that day.
Hey, Harry.
Yes.
You're going to go in. There'll be 3 people in front of you who get all 3 copies. It'll be Joey, his wife, and his dog.
No,
you know, the bad thing is there's also a Taylor Swift record, so there's going to be a line for.
That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's
a bad thing if I just want to get there and get the shit I want and get out.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
Right.
Well,
Why
if you're going to be super selfish about it,
are you about to go into some tirade about how it gets new people into the hobby and all of that?
No, I don't. I think it's great. I just don't. I don't want it happening.
Wait, Chris, what's
that I want?
I'm not having a stance here, but what's Chris's argument for why it's not a bad thing? Is that your argument that it gets people into the hobby and it gets new collectors?
There's several things. So not that just, I mean, it gets people into record stores. Maybe they buy something else, sure. But it also gives me an opportunity to buy the record and hold it for a month and then sell it for $800.
All right. Well, that's terrible.
That's the best part of it. I'm going to sit in line anyway. And I love, actually, I've only done that once. With the Taylor record, I love hanging out with younger people in the lines for a couple hours before the store opens.
We had a great time.
They're excited about the Taylor record or whatever we talk about. Now, if you're not an idiot, you definitely don't tell the people in front of you what you're there for, right? But that's a fucking rookie move. If you're there to get a certain record, you don't hype that record up to the people that are in front of you. Because if it's limited, they're like, man, that sounds cool. And then there's one left. And the fucker makes direct eye contact with you as he takes the last copy. That's what happens if you tell him what you're there for.
Man, I said this years ago.
This is a dream you've had, right?
No, it's a fucking lived experience, man. No, it's not a dream. It's a lived experience.
I said this years ago.
Yeah, that's what record collecting is cutthroat now. People do that.
Yeah, see, Brandon, I was just about to say, I went through, when I was a kid, I collected sneakers. And when I was a kid, the only sneaker collectors were fucking weirdo nerds that were into basketball or hip hop, or like, it wasn't like the thing to do. And then at some point around, I don't know, 2010, 2015, it started to get so hyped up that it was like
before that, dude. It was before that.
And you've got and then you've got people like wanting to fight you in fucking lines and stuff. And when this like record store day, you know, all this people, I'm not doing it again, man. I got out of that shit for a reason, you know.
Are you even near any place that would do it?
Would do what?
Record store day. It's not where
yeah. I mean, any little indie store in any little town will have a record store day. But as far as I mean, I guess Brandon, I started making. So I paid a lot of my way through undergrad selling sneakers. This was the years that I was like, I'm not really that interested in this shit anymore. And at some point, and here's another thing about the record store day. I know that all it's so fucking. I hear all these people complaining about record store day, and I really don't like to listen to it. But that whole manufactured scarcity thing, man, that they were started. See, when I was a kid, it was like, oh, this got released in Japan, and I want this sneaker, or this was worn, and it hasn't been. But then the companies realized we can intentionally create scarcity to garner hype around this stuff, and that just feels so like false to me, man. I don't want to go chase a record store day title that only 500 are released up because they know that you'll go sit in line. Like, I don't want to do it, dude. There's so many good records.
That's not really a thing anymore, though.
Y'all were just looking at the list last week. It was like edition of 3.
It 100% is.
Yeah.
Everybody gets in line.
No, and it's fine to get in line. I'm just saying that, like, at least jazz-wise, most of the stuff that people on this stream care about that they're looking for, they have really figured out what the market is for a lot of these records. Like Zeb and stuff that he's putting out, he knows if he should press 3,000 or 10,000, right? Like, they've really kind of figured that out.
And they're still going to have stuff left over.
Yeah, and they've also, a lot of them are just like, really, if it sells well and they can print it again 6 months later, they will. Like, the whole record store thing is still kind of a thing, but it's just not as big of a thing as it was before.
Well, the Zeb titles rely on selling them out to the stores.
So the first run, yes, absolutely, yes.
Our half price books in Tacoma is getting new sealed copies of record store day releases from the last record store day. So somebody's wholesaling those out.
That makes sense.
Whatever's left over, I'll see. Yeah, I think my point is I've done that. I don't want to do the fighting people anymore, like the waking up. There's just a lot of good music out there, you know. And as far as pulling people in, like the original intent of pulling people into the local record store is great, but I'm already supporting a bunch of fucking record stores. You know, they don't need me that day to go in there and buy an album.
No, they don't need you that day, but maybe that new guy.
Yeah, for sure. Go do it. I'm not. If you want to go fucking get your Taylor Swift record or whatever, hey, go fucking get it.
You know what's cool? I mean, around here, when I go to the record stores around here, there's lots of young people that are going and buying records.
Yeah.
Around here, different now. Even the record shows, it's all different people now.
Yeah,
and I mean, I said this when we were talking about record store day last week. We're in a kind of strange subset of people with our fucking thousands of records. Like, I have a ton of friends, and I know I'm not particularly young anymore, but younger than I'm collecting all class. And they'll have, what they do is they'll wait for a contemporary artist to release a record. They see it in, like, they're not always out. They're not Rob waking up and fucking going to record stores. They've got about 50-ish records, you know. Like, that's, I bet there's
wait. So what you're saying is that young people are not Rob?
Yes. I'm saying I think a lot of young people
want to be clear. That hurt.
A record's like a treat that they'll buy every now and then, but they're not sitting on Discogs fucking cracked out trying to find,
certainly.
They're just like, hey, cool, the Weeknd released a new record.
They're not doing auctions online until they get some money.
Fucking Chaperone's got a new record. Let's fucking buy it. That's the end of it.
Yeah, it's just a much more casual thing. They're more moderate about.
You mean like it was intended to be in the very first?
Probably like a normal human.
I'll sell you.
I'll
sell anybody here for $200 in the box, unworn Vans Yellow Submarine sneakers.
Not in a million fucking years. I'll give you $300 so that I can throw them in the ocean.
What size are
they? As long as I've been a Beatles fan, I never really collected memorabilia. I was always buying the records, but I didn't really have money to buy this shit growing up. So
Mazzy's got a shrine set up somewhere with all the
hold the fuck on. Because Felipe's not here, I'll do it. No.
What?
We're not doing the Beatles thing. Stop.
Okay, here's the thing, though. It's my fucking show, bro.
Then tell him to stop.
Moderate, Chris. Tell them no Beatles.
Seriously, fucking goddamn it.
It's fine. There's no Beatles. It's fine.
Hey, I can
that's what
moderate.
Hang
You
on.
give these people an inch,
What
they will
size?
take 1,000 miles.
What about like
But-
9 inches?
Okay, here's your Sophie's choice, Louis.
What size? What size?
Yep.
Is this?
You can only pick, Louis. You can only pick one to live and one to die.
Hey,
Mazzy talking about the Beatles or Mazzy talking about San Francisco?
do y'all remember
San
Louis-
Francisco, 100% all fucking day long. 100%. There's
I love
shit
San
there's
Francisco.
shit I don't know about San Francisco. There's nothing I don't know about the fucking
Okay,
Beatles.
wait a
Get
minute.
the fuck out of
Joey,
here.
where is this record from?
On first glance, Italy.
Italy.
Yeah, this is the first pressing from Italy. Look at this label.
I don't know anything about the Beatles, and that was easy.
Mamma mia, that's a big label.
And this was sent to me
It's
as a
so
VCLT. This
That
is
is
a
a cool
valuable
label.
record.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah.
When I was
Look how
I'm
Harry
shocked
gets
to
so
hear that.
excited about
Harry,
Really?
Harry,
know
we
that-
only
You know
talk
what?
about
When you
jazz
see
here.
it-
That's
when I
not
see
jazz.
a Beatle record I've never seen before,
that's
and a
cool.
label I've never seen before.
What
yeah.
is what record is that? Is it
It's
is it a record?
It's the very
I-
first album.
Did that say I fellatioed the Beatles?
Oh,
Translated to that, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
That's
pretty
cool,
cool.
Harry. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
I went to a couple different record stores when I was there a couple months ago, and I didn't see much that you can't get over here.
Yeah.
It was still
Well,
fun.
that's when I was in Thailand a few years back. I was looking for records, and
What else
all
were
the
you looking
record
for in
stores- they got some
Thailand?
nice record stores, but they all had U.S. pressings and
Let's go to
UK
Thailand
pressings
together. That sounds fun.
Japanese.
Yeah,
No
I've seen that, Harry, where I've seen jazz collectors over in Japan, and because like during when CDs were so big here, there were people just scooping up, like there were Japanese buyers that would come over and just buy out all the original Blue Notes. And so they're all sitting in Japan in like mint condition, all these American.
So are all the Fender, 1952 Telecasters and
Yeah, that makes sense.
Les Paul Gibsons.
Yeah.
See, when I used to sell at the record shows 25 years ago, they would come over from Japan, like you said, to buy the jazz. But when they came over, they would bring boxes and boxes of 7-inch 45s, all with the picture sleeves. And the dealers here would just go fucking nuts buying that shit. Led Zeppelin, everything you can imagine, they would bring over. And it was a beating frenzy trying to get to their table.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I
Inside
love
Australia.
fucking Japanese pressings. I'm totally.
That's a cool cover.
I'm a sucker for Japanese shit.
I'm a sucker if it's got an OB. It's got to have the OB.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like finding. I like to bargain hunt. So I like some of those Japanese pressings where they've lost the OB, and then the value goes down because all the record collectors.
You are
want the
so
OB.
right. You are so right. That
And
is
always look inside the jacket. I found Japanese records where the OBs were inside with the record.
Yeah, I bought one. I think it was Ron Carter's Where, which is a great Ron Carter record.
Yeah.
I bought a Japanese pressing, and it was advertised no OB, so it was decent price, and it was just inside the jacket when I got it.
Yeah,
But,
Patty. I usually go to record stores if I go to a town. Definitely.
Oh
Well-
yeah, I have to. Yeah.
Yeah. Austin is probably one of my favorite place in Texas to record shops. Definitely Austin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
End of an Ear is great it's pretty good for used shit.
I gotta say LA for me.
Well, I
I'm
haven't been
trying
to
to
LA.
figure out my favorite record store that's in my city, but also my favorite record store that's in my town. Trying to decide.
Yeah, if
between
you
the
Google
two.
like LA record stores, it's like y'all put them up. It's like convenience stores out there. There's like it looks like there's like 900 of them.
Now, I live in a city, but LA's another city, but would it be my town? I just need to know.
This is a trick question. I think Portland
is my lady.
Portland's a great.
I bet Portland's good. In Austin, again, to my point, Austin's so good because there's so many weirdos that are. It's not that those records were distributed in Austin. none of those records were originally distributed in Austin, but there's enough weirdos that there's a mass of cool ass used records that end up there, like
Well, they all moved there.
Breakaway.
A lot of people moved there with their records.
Yeah, exactly. So Austin's great. San Antonio has a really good store, but it's I don't think I'd go out of my way to.
Which one?
Crazy Rhythms. Those dudes. If you ever go to San Antonio, I don't know if anyone in the chat will have gone to San
Antonio.
Yeah, Crazy Rhythms. It's run by these twins, and they. I don't know if any of y'all remember Nick Rudeau.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I met Nick there and Eddie Perez, and the dudes were super sweet. And every time I go to San Antonio, and they always remember me. They're always like, "Hey, how long are you in town for?" Super nice dudes, and they have a good section of like experimental jazz, weird jazz, experimental electronic stuff. And actually, the last time I was there, they said to check out a new store there called Brainwave. I don't know if there's any, but I haven't been. But they were like, I think there's some stuff in there that you'd like. So I'll go next time I'm there and I'll give it a shot. But
Rob, what was that place we went to when we or not? Yeah, you went, Rob, and then so did you, Lou. That last store we went to as we were leaving Austin. What's that place called?
We went to End of an Ear, but then it was the next place after that.
On the last day, what's that place called? Shit.
Breakaway is great. Breakaway has a lot of good soul. One of the dudes that runs that, if you're into 45s, which I know not a lot of people are, but the dude that runs that puts together these CD mixes of like really rare, good ass 45s. They're like $5 at checkout. Grab a few of those, man.
When is Waterloo moving?
Soon, I think. And Waterloo is good. It's just that to me, if I go in End of an Ear, I'm gonna basically spend my budget. Or Breakaway. Breakaway is has a lot of good jazz.
End of an Ear is great for used shit. Breakaway's great for used shit. Waterloo's crazy though, because you can go there and find like reissues that have been unavailable for 3 years.
Yeah, they get a lot of good.
And they'll have it for like $30.
When I went up at some point years ago, I found like 3 Music Matters jazz records there for reasonable price too, like $45.
Yeah,
$40.
exactly. Yeah,
that were sitting there probably before people got into crazy town again.
Yeah, I think
crazy
I end up going to End of an Ear because that's experimental stuff, and it's got a lot of and then also for me it does have a lot of metal. Whoever and actually End of an Ear used to be in this little tiny building, and that it had a shit ton of metal. So I don't know who runs it if they're super into metal, but so it ends up crossing over a lot of the stuff that I end up liking.
Yeah, it's pretty. The other cool thing that's right there is they have a
Whataburger.
Right across the street. They have a BMW 2001. The 2001 or 2002 BMW cars. Y'all remember those? It's like a specific model. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fucking cool as shit. There's a shop right across the street from End of an Ear that specializes in those.
Yeah,
and they only work on them. They rebuild those, and it's like
the 8.
The 8?
Yeah, the 8. Did you say BMW?
2001s and 2002.
Oh, you're talking about the
little coupes. The great little cars. They're usually
talking about the 2002s. You're talking.
The BMWs that
weren't, or whatever TTI.
The ones that weren't as good as a Miata.
No, they're way better than that.
Fact.
They're called the O2 series. They made them from like.
They didn't have Miatas back then, though, Louis.
No, these were
in
from
2001.
No. That was
the car is called 2002.
It's just called.
That's the label.
Who was on first?
Is it the little boxy? Every time I'm near that shop, it's the little boxy.
Yes.
They look like
There's no 2001
movie.
Just 2002. That's not the year they came out. That's the number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They came out in the 70s.
Yes, they're considered very balanced cars.
Yeah, every time I see that shop, there's one up on the jack, and they're working on it. Yeah,
they're sexy.
Yeah, they're cool.
Not as much as a 8, whatever something 8 is. That's
like 800 series.
No, 8. The BMW something 8. Because my sister-in-law had one of those, and it was it's like a race car. Fucking bad.
My first car was a 1990 Volvo 240. It was one of those boxy Volvo.
yeah.
I love that
Safest
car.
car on the road.
That is the
Fucking
best.
total.
That's the best first car to ever have. That's
And it was in mint. Somebody had it as like their second car. And it was just sitting at one of my mom's friends. And it was just sitting. So it was like in perfect condition when I got it. And I fucking totaled it. If I won the lottery, I'd buy another one and like fix it up. And
that'd be a
does
terrible
anyone
waste of some of those funds.
Does
but
anyone
come on.
remember the
What, like
movie
$10,000?
Crazy People with Dudley Moore and Daryl Hannah? Dudley Moore is like an ad executive, and he gets
Which
sent to
one
the
is
nut
that?
house. Then he takes all the crazy people, and they start making marketing
you go.
campaigns, and they used real products. Like they said, Volvo,
They're
Boxy.
boxy, but they're good.
Volvos don't stay
they're
in the
good.
shop, Elliot.
Yeah.
You talking
Volvos,
about crazy people, or was that the name of the movie?
Volvos actually were very out of the shop, very well made and well run cars.
I don't know,
Mine
man.
never
You
had
gotta
a
be.
problem.
The Italian cars would be in the shop all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
Italian
hold
cars
on,
are cool.
Volvo. Like,
Maos and
it's still
Yeah.
expensive to service a Volvo.
Yes.
Period.
well, that's
Period.
true.
Did you say
well,
Volvo?
I had like a what year in the 2000s? Was it a 90s? I had when they did the Veloce or the
We'll wait for you to figure it out, Mazzy.
I had a wagon. I had the box.
My mom had a bunch of Volvo
when my kid
wagons.
was born.
We want to make sure we want to make sure you're sure about the year.
Is it the
though.
one with the glass panel on the back? Because those.
I
are
had the. I think I
cool.
had. I think it was the V70.
Oh no, that's way after.
So
That
I
was
worked for Firestone for 11 years
Close
as
to
a store
2000,
manager.
late 90s.
Yeah.
One of our mechanics would always tell me, I don't work on O cars. Renault, Fuego, anything. I don't work on them. He was our top
Pinto.
mechanic.
My first new car was a Pinto.
Pinto. I had a Pinto wagon.
Oh,
I had
love
5
my-
Pintos, dude. I had my grandpa
I
was a
love my
Ford.
Pinto. I love my.
My grandpa was a Ford like parts man. His
They weren't
entire life.
exploding then. You know how much that car was new?
Romeo.
It was
a
like
shitload.
$1,900 or $2,000 new.
Before
I had
Yeah,
a Pinto in the
You're
90s.
70, Louis, we'll be patient with you.
I had a 93 Supra
didn't
from
have a
the one like
Pacer.
in Fast and Furious.
All
I
right,
had
I'm gonna
that
go
for
work.
20 years almost.
I'll see
You
y'all
had
later.
a wait, hold on.
What?
Fred,
You had a 93 Supra.
I had
Oh,
the
okay.
premier
Yes,
year.
I'm going.
first
I'm gonna
year.
go get some work done. I'll
Okay.
see you.
Red one.
Bye, Fred.
Red, but it was not.
dinner.
It was not a turbo.
I'll see you guys.
See
Oh
ya.
well, then no one cares.
Why, Brandon?
Stop fucking talking about it.
hey
Well,
Rob,
But when I sold it, it only had
No.
73,000 miles.
No. If it doesn't have a turbo, stop talking about it.
That's not true. Even
No, it
it's
fucking
still a
no,
gas.
it fucking 100% is true, and I will die
No.
on this hill.
No,
Fucking, you have a Supra
any
that
of
didn't have a
those
turbo
cars
in it.
were
Get the
awesome.
fuck out of
Any
here.
of them.
You
No,
didn't have
those-
a Supra at all, though. So shut the fuck up.
But I am a car guy, especially a Japanese JDM guy, and I know that him talking about a Supra
Okay,
without a
wait minute.
fucking turbo is not fucking acceptable.
That sounds
That's
stupid.
like you
This
don't know
is
anything
the-
about cars,
they're
Chris. Give me a
boxy.
fucking
Yeah.
break.
When's the last time you rebuilt an engine in a car, Louis?
In the one that I own.
Liar.
We got it, Rob. We get it. We get it.
No, they're boxy. Hold on,
But they're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
but
it's
they're
terrible.
good. But read the
No.
thing there. We know they're not sexy. This is not a smart time to be sexy anymore.
You know, the
There's
best
so
car.
many. Mazzy, shut the fuck up.
With so many diseases around, be safe instead of sexy.
That
Yeah.
movie's fun. That movie's funny.
A
Go watch
Supra
that.
without a turbo. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck?
hey Rob, I have a Mal Waldron.
No,
and I hate to
this is
go
really
back
going a
to
little
jazz
too
on
far.
this,
Yeah,
but
what's up?
do you like the impressions?
I
you
I
had to
picked
let
it up
them-
recently. Yes, I do because I like those.
Are you gonna do some impressions, Joey?
No, but I have. There's in my little secret place. I have a bid
Ooh.
on an impressions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to know. I
Is it-
see him
is it-
like. Go ahead.
is it a Japanese pressing or an
Yeah.
OJC?
He said in his secret
Oh,
place.
it's an OJC, but it's
Secret
from
place.
a Japanese guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
enjoy
for
secret
some
places.
reason,
I enjoy secret
seems like
place.
Japan got all the OJC copies of that. I
Yeah,
have it from there.
it's from
Yeah.
my Japan guy, but it's an OJC. It's an American.
It sounds
OJC.
great.
Good.
It sounds good.
Okay, cool.
The
I like.
LeBaron turbo sucked ass. No shit, McToasty. Hell yeah.
The
Yeah,
LeBaron
yeah.
turbo, the one that's this big.
Yeah.
Yes, LeBaron. Come
Who-
on.
LeBaron.
Who had a
I'm going to
GL?
say goodbye tonight. See you
You
next
were-
time.
Oh, we scared him away because he was
Just
good for
know-
like 2 seconds.
Just know,
Isn't Patrick
Harry
on
knows
tonight?
when you've been
Isn't
good.
Patrick
Yes,
on
and
yes,
knows
that's
when-
fine. I can't stand Patrick up.
What?
What?
Okay. See y'all later.
He's kidding.
Bye.
Timestamp.
Did he say you can't stand Patrick?
Yes, he did say that, but he didn't mean it.
He's probably gonna go hang out on his stream. Bubbles were made in San Francisco by George Martin. I didn't know that.
I found out. So my dad bought a Gremlin. Does anyone remember Gremlins?
Yeah.
No,
MC.
the Gremlins and Faces
Come
were
on.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Wait,
Very
and
averse
I
to
think
water.
he got it
is
in
what I
some
can
sort of
remember.
scammy way, where
Yeah.
he was using his car like driving budget. I don't know. But
So it sounds like the apple didn't fall
The
from
far from the tree? No, not that. My dad wasn't usually that way, but I remember my parents divorced, and we would see my dad on the weekends, and he would pick us up for like overnight. And the interior of that Gremlin was not padded with anything; it was solid metal. So I would fall asleep and hit my head on this door.
No
with
wonder.
solid metal.
We now we understand. It makes it
Yeah, we're like this whole picture is becoming
so
more
it's coming
clear.
in.
How
Focus
can
now, Rob.
how can me banging my head, Mazzy, affect you?
Shut up,
interrupting
Rob.
me when I talk.
I just saw the commercial for the Levi Gremlin on Instagram the other day. It was like, oh, I forgot about
Well,
it.
yeah, they would all leave. Well,
I
that's
had-
like
my first job after I graduated from high school, I had a boss that had a pink Gremlin. This was in
Wow.
1994. He had a 427 Ford Super Cobra Jet engine in it,
Jesus Christ.
and it had giant like fucking slicks on the back. And the thing, he used to race like 8th mile with it, and it would just spin the tires the whole way down the fucking track.
Right.
But it was pretty goddamn fast. It was a scary thing, really. It's pretty cool. The best AMC car was the Javelin. Okay.
That's a good car. I had an AMC car. I had a Jeep. AMC
Well,
Jeep.
yeah, the Jeep. I mean, the Jeeps were cool as shit, man.
I had a CJ7, 83 CJ7.
Dude, my dad had a CJ7 from about that era
Fucking
that
great
I
car.
grew up with. Fucking great.
I will say it destroyed my hip, but that's a whole nother story.
The only problem with those was the transfer case was a piece of shit. Like my
It
dad had
was
to have it replaced
clunky.
like 3 times.
We
Yeah.
just said it was clunky. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my Pinto is the only American car I've ever owned. I used to
Such a
borrow at the
fucking
very
communist,
beginning. I
man.
borrowed my
Such a
mother's.
communist.
I borrowed my mother's Buick Skylark when I first got my license. '68 Buick Skylark.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's good.
that was the one I drove to Canada with when I was 17 and a half. And I remember they took my buddy and I, Tom, they separated us. This is 1972, that summer, and I wasn't 18 yet. And they took us, and I had long hair, they took us into separate rooms because they wanted to know if we were into the drug scene. They were actually really nice. They had to call my parents because I was under 18 and the car was registered to my mother. So I'm leaving the country. They wanted to know if we're draft dodgers. But that was like a fucking heavy car. Had an
Right.
8-track tape in it.
The
Oh my
only
God.
thing I really got from that story, the
Oh,
only thing I really got from that story, Mazzy, was that when you were 17 and a half, you told people you were 17 and a half.
yeah, and on that note, I have to go.
No, you don't. Come on.
Louis, what the
Dude, don't
fuck?
leave. You can't leave.
I might leave soon too.
Yeah, you
I
always
thought
tell us
this
to
was
come
a
up,
fucking
so-
free country. Like, am I wrong about? I'm like
No,
fighting.
No,
it's not
Trump
a
got
free
elected.
country.
You didn't hear? What the fuck? Trump got elected. No, of course not.
Everybody in your neighborhood is getting fired.
I have to get up. I have a songwriting session tomorrow, and then I have a recording session.
Oh,
That is the worst.
Okay. First
excuse
of all,
I
you
have
don't
ever
get up.
heard.
You don't get up on a schedule to write songs. You get up whenever they fucking feel like it to write.
says
songs.
says the guy who's never written a song.
Hey,
I've
Hey,
written,
you're
I've written
asking-
about 6
Right.
songs in my life.
Mazzy, do you understand or remember that the Sharon is Caring album? The song titles are Eggs and then Bacon. And then I gotta brush my teeth.
You know, if
Yeah.
if his thing was eggs, that would be a big seller at this point.
Yeah, you could charge an extra $5 just for having eggs on the cover.
You get it, Louis, because they're all songs around when you wake up in the morning.
Yes.
Louis, good luck tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now, are you? Let me ask you this: are you writing alone or with someone?
Both.
And
The
does that
same
person
person?
have
Same
his or her
person?
alarm set? early?
Tomorrow is recording. Tomorrow is
Oh,
recording.
that's different. Okay.
Recording parts.
I thought you were supposed
Cancel
to
that and go
record
eat
like
breakfast.
at midnight or something till 3
Say
in the
what?
morning.
Say what?
No, get some sleep, man. Get some sleep.
Well, I mean,
Dude,
like,
it's not even 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
dude, listen, you don't understand.
the
Let me
white noise.
allow me to explain.
Mm.
Well,
After
we don't
this,
have to allow you. You would anyway.
yeah, shut the fuck up, Rob. Like after this, like I have to go think for 2 hours before I can even get ready to go to bed, and that'll make it 1 o'clock in the morning, and then that makes it a horse of a different color.
Yeah.
Why don't you make a jazz album instead of a rock?
So you're,
Why
you're
don't-
saying,
why
you're
don't-
saying you're going to stay on the stream until 1 o'clock in the morning?
I think you should make a blues album.
Roberto said you won't.
That's funny. You've done that joke, but that's a funny joke. Rob.
Roberto said.
No, I just fucking.
Well, midnight in what time zone, Roberto?
Exactly.
Central.
Midnight
Central.
somewhere.
It's only 8 o'clock here.
I'm in
That's when the stream
Central.
happens. It's
I'm
in
Central.
Central, yes. Yes.
No, I'm hedging my bets and trying to do the right thing because I have work to do. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, call me over the weekend whenever you're free.
Right
Hey,
on.
Joey, apparently that Stumptown got some new shit in. I saw him posting. I
Let's
don't know
go.
what, if anything, but
Let's
if you're
go.
around, let me know. Reach out.
Okay. Now this is an interesting
get out.
take here. How about Neil Sedaka?
Well, what's the song that he re-recorded as sort of a ballad?
That's actually a good album. That was produced
No,
and
but what's
backed up
the
by 10cc.
Breaking Up is Hard to Do? He did as the
Oh,
pop
yeah.
song when he
10cc,
was 18. and then in the 70s he re-recorded it as like a ballad or
Right.
Yeah,
No,
and
he had a
it's
bunch of good shit. He's on
I'm Singing in the
TikTok,
Rain,
Rob.
Walking in the Rain, whatever that song was.
okay. I don't
He's
think
on
I was
TikTok.
raised as a wholesome kid, but I remember when his song came
probably.
out, Bad Blood, and then he said bitch in it, and I go, ooh,
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a duet with Elton John. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
You're
Yeah.
thinking Bitch is back.
It was
No,
He is back.
wait, it was.
on a
It
second.
was. And then he has that pervy
Yes,
song.
Bad
He sings with
Blood.
his daughter, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't-
but he's on TikTok. You should follow him, Rob. It's pretty cool.
What is he? 105?
Yeah, he's about Maisie's age.
Well, he's right behind Sinatra as far as like singing with
Yeah,
his daughter.
Bad Blood is Neil Sedaka and Elton John on background vocals,
Okay.
Yes.
and Nigel Olsen on
He
drums.
said,
Lee
"Hey,
Sklar on bass.
everyone, I'm going to warn you. If you haven't heard that song, it says bitch in it.
It was
Yeah.
Elton. You're thinking of Bitch's Back though too.
No,
Well,
he
Boss
goes, the
plays.
bitch is in the bed.
I don't
The
know that.
thing about Bad Blood is we said bitch before.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
he was bisexual, or
Yeah.
I don't know if
gay.
he. No. I
You
think
say
he
that so
was
harshly, like it's a
bisexual.
bad
Well, he
thing.
was married to Liza Minnelli for a while.
Was he? He said
No,
it's
I
totally.
don't.
He's
I
totally
think you're
gay,
not
man.
thinking of the right person.
Okay, or
I
maybe
think
you're right.
He's mixing up Neil Sedaka with
You might be right. You might be right.
what's that famous choreographer dancer guy?
How
He
fun would it
was-
have been to hang out with like Liza back in the Studio 54 days, though? I
No,
love Liza.
the best, there is a best Liza, but it almost
No, he
never
married
happened.
Liba
It's
Strasberg.
Arrested Development Liza. That's the
No,
best.
No.
you're right. You're right. It wasn't. But he's married to Samantha. Oh, so he's straight.
I don't think it
Well-
mattered who you were with at Studio 54, though. Did it really? I mean,
No,
you're
no,
gonna
that
have
doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know if
hanging
he
out
was
with her,
Studio
she's my
54
favorite.
guy.
I love
Peter
Rob.
Allen. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joseph. Peter Allen was married to
Peter Allen.
There you go.
Liza Minnelli. Thank you.
That's right.
The other straight, not straight guy.
They said bitch in that song, man. I'm just telling you.
She was married to a gay dude. That doesn't surprise me. That sounds perfect.
Yeah, I mean that's not uncommon in
And then,
Hollywood.
and then the first
It's not
record
uncommon in the world.
I wanted a copy of, like we
Oh,
have,
lavender marriage, Mazzy.
is
I
Kung
remember-
Fu Fighting. I wanted that 45 or whatever.
I had three friends whose,
Cheers, yes.
you know, when I was a kid, three friends when we all grew up and everything, that their fathers came out, you know, when the kids were grown up, and
Yeah.
yeah, that was not uncommon. It's not uncommon in America.
Yeah, that's true.
What's not in common?
Having to live your entire life,
especially our generation's parents who were quote straight, and then after they came out.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but McToasty, I was older when Bitch Girl. We okay, this is what we did when that song came out. Okay, we get to the part Bitch Girl, and then we go bitch, 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 and then our parents go, "What are you doing?" And we go, "They're singing in the song. It's in the song."
What about the Rolling Stones? It was before all that shit, right?
That's a bit.
Bitch, the song Bitch.
Yeah.
It's an instrumental, though.
That wasn't played around our house.
That was a hit, though. I mean, that was a
big.
Yeah, it's a fucking great song.
It is great. Instrumental. Yeah, great.
It's not an instrumental.
Isn't Bitch? Yes, it is.
No, fuck no. No.
Mazzy, can you explain this comment to me? Because I have no clue what this is even talking about.
Dave's wife made a pillow out of the blue jean material. So she tapestry work on the front and back cover of the man. Oh, well.
Because of the, Tiny Dancer or whatever.
The album has a denim cover that they photographed that I don't know that story, though.
But the whole, like the lyric there's a lyric line in there, too.
About pillow biting?
No.
Whoa, speaking of pillow biting, is this the Gay Jazz Bones episode? Wow.
How long have you been holding that joke in?
Yeah, no shit.
Well, how long have you been holding it in? That's the question.
Just take it. It's
I
fine.
saw the word pillow, and then whatever. I didn't mean it as a joke, so no offense to
No, are you kidding me?
All the gay people we know, believe me,
No and love.
Mazzy has gay friends. He has black friends too.
Yeah, I have gay black friends.
Oh,
what is that?
This is what I'm drinking tonight.
Is that Italian or is that?
No, that's French.
Okay.
Here's what I'm drinking.
So now so you're being more pretentious than I am tonight.
Fuck yes. Well, I bring this shit over to your house. Come on.
You're a wine guy.
My shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that's not Josh. Is not bad,
that's
right?
Josh Brolin is wine.
Yeah. Is it?
That's Paso Robles, California.
I mean, last week you were kind of bragging about your $7 wine. That's not $7 wine.
No, that's like $15 or whatever. Yeah. That's good. I love there was that. You know what's funny when the pandemic first happened? I was drinking a lot of Austin Hope, like the Paso Robles Austin Hope.
This is what I was drinking tonight.
My favorite. Nice.
Paso Robles is it's kind of the new. I mean, not new anymore, but that is a place. Yeah. It's a good economic way to get good wine.
Yeah. Actually, Sam's actually had a Paso Robles wine for a while. It was like $8 a fucking bottle. I bought like 2 cases of it when the pandemic first happened, because me and my wife just like got drunk as shit every night for like a month because we were so freaked out.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have Costco over there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there. I mean, that's a good place to buy wine. I would. The only external schooling I had in my life post high school was UC Davis. I took the enology and winemaking class, but I took it. Cool. Yeah, I took it. And what they do is they have if you're a new winemaker, you go and get their certificate because it helps you get seed money, right? And you have to take 5 classes to get the certificate. I took the first of the 5, which is basically the 101 class. Teaches you everything, but it's a game changer. It's insane. It really changed me.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm trying to drink less too.
Are you going to do? Here's what we should do. Okay, we should do a rule over the top. Once it settles down after Record Store Day, take the Record Store copy. Hopefully, I'll get a copy of the album. And we should do a pairing with it.
You have a fucking test pressing of the album already.
This is on loan from the.
That's actually the best sounding one.
I just have it. By the way, I played it for Coffee Julie, and she loved it. She came over.
I knew I liked her. I knew it.
No, but she goes, "Oh my God, that sounds great." Because a lot of people don't hear great stereos, and I'm compared to some people, it's not, but it's like good stereo. Right. But But we should do like a video of wine pairing, because I know it pisses people off, like when I do the martinis with the record cleaner or something.
Yeah.
We should do a pairing, like what goes with this record, maybe track by track or one side. And
I'm all in, but I hate the whole pairing thing, because it's like I think wine should stand.
well, let's just be
on its own.
pretentious.
But just for a joke, I'm all in. All in.
Well, I don't do things.
How about
humor,
here's
for
my
joke.
pairing: Mazzy and a clogged toilet.
Yeah.
I used to think that Thomas Fogarty wine was actually the brother of John, and it turned out it wasn't.
That is the most pretentious joke.
No, but it makes sense, because rock musicians, it's like what's his name, Sammy Hagar with his tequila, and
I went to his place down there, by the way.
yeah, it's not unusual for a rock star to have a vineyard or a winery or
No. They don't have.
I want to go hang out with Maynard at his
You don't have
winery.
the you know what I mean.
License it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I thought that was Tom when I remember going to the Half Moon Bay opened this Four Seasons, and we were invited for some dinner when they first opened. We had a place down the coast, and we went to this Four Seasons on the bluff in Half Moon Bay. They brought the wine over, and this guy said Thomas Fogarty, and I said, oh, they're from Creedence, and the guy explained to me. I felt like an idiot, because he said, no, it's not that Thomas Fogarty. He says people often confuse that, but so I learned. I didn't know.
Not only was that story pretentious,
Well,
it lacked
okay.
good storytelling.
But Fess Parker was that Fess Parker. Fess Parker wines was it Daniel Boone or Davy Crockett, the actor?
Who came first, Mazzy? The wine
Daniel
guy
Boone.
or the rock guy?
Wish I had
Daniel
more.
Boone.
That is
Fess
a
Parker?
signed fucking Fess Parker right there.
There you
It
go.
is?
Yes.
See?
You know who got this for me? Mike Gurley.
Wow, the
The
guitar
guitar
player.
player in Dada. He got this for me from Fess Parker.
Is that an empty bottle or is it sealed?
It's fucking. I don't drink signed bottles.
Oh,
I have 3 signed bottles. I don't drink any of them.
who else do you have?
Uh,
Daniel Boone was first, and then David Crockett. Thank you, Mike.
This is the only other musician I have, Mick Fleetwood.
Oh, that's
cool.
right. Yeah.
My brother got me this.
Wow.
Sealed. Then the other one just is a winemaker who's fucking amazing, but no one would probably know who he is.
Yeah, Les Claypool has a winery. I knew that, but I've never
Yeah,
had
but-
it.
Okay. Actually, I'm not going to say anything about
You don't like his wine.
What about have you had any of
I'm not gonna say
Maynard's
anything.
wine?
They
I'll
just
tell you
licensed
later.
his name, right?
Say it again.
License
Have you
his
had-
name.
Yeah.
No, have you had any of Maynard's wine?
Who?
The
Maynard.
Tool guy. He has a
Yeah.
winery in Arizona.
Yeah, James Keenan, yeah.
Who?
Maynard from Tool.
Oh, no, but I mean, honestly, these are mostly, I'm not going to say I know everything about everybody's wine, but most of the wines you see like that, they license it from a.
Yeah.
Well, no, Maynard actually has his own
Maynard's the
winery.
real deal. There's a
Yeah, he has his
documentary
own
about
winery.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
so
know I can just
But
say
it's
no.
called Blood and Wine.
Yeah.
Well, a vinyl Lambrusco's is like a sparkling wine. It's a sparkling like almost like a cava or a not a cava, but yeah. But
Well, Cava's from Spain. That's
Cava, Spain, and
that's a champagne made in
Yeah.
champagne style sparkling.
and Prosecco
wine
is Italian,
Spain.
and
Prosecco
champagne
is
is French, and in America it's sparkling wine.
Exact, 100% exactly right.
Yeah, because we did a whole series of shoots for what's the big champagne, or excuse me, the big sparkling wine vineyard in the Napa Valley, the big one.
There's a bunch of them.
But the big famous one for years.
Coup du Mont.
Are
No,
you talking about fuck? Well, are you talking about the ones that came in the 70s that are the 80s that are all from France? Or are you talking
no,
about
it's the American sparkling. They're Domaine Chandon, which
That's
is
from
American.
France. That's one of the ones I was talking about. That came from France. That came from cuttings from France.
But yeah, but that's like the biggest sparkling wine thing in California. I don't know if it still is, but it was for years. And we
Right.
did a bunch of photo shoots for them, and we got the tours. And they have a restaurant there. At least they did. I'm sure they still do. And tours. And it's a big, almost like it's some of those. There's a certain winery like Mondavi is one of them that
Well,
is so
that's what I
large.
think
They
we're
have
talking about.
concert series there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but Mondavi was around in California before that. So in the 80s, yeah, 80s, there was three. It was, I'm not going to remember, but Chandon, it was like three French winemakers brought over.
Rothschild.
No. It was
that was the bankers, Mazzy.
it was Chandon and two other ones. I'll remember them after the stream's over.
I knew the guy. I knew a guy, this Asian, really great designer, this Asian guy, and he designed the Rothschild Mondavi logo with the two heads.
Hmm.
You know, remember that, the two, when they first did that first Opus One, when they did Opus One,
yeah,
which was the first joint thing of Mondavi and Rothschild that had those two illustrations of blue of
right,
the heads.
right.
Base, yeah.
Opus. They used to have Opus One at fucking Costco.
Yeah, it was back then in the late 80s. It was $100 a bottle. Then,
Yeah.
You know, and so I can't imagine what it is now. But we used to get some of it because we would be traded for doing photo shoots for them.
Right.
Which was
my favorite thing is like to go out with corporate like vendors. You know, like I've gone out with Salesforce several times, like big steakhouses, and they're like, "Hey, let's order some wine. What do you want?" I'm like, "Let's see what costs $300 a bottle. Let's just check it out, bro." And then they'll like get 6 bottles of that shit. Like it's crazy. I mean, it's
well, that was a great thing about in photo
like 2018, 2019, before the pandemic, those fuckers were rolling in money, and they'd be like, whatever.
The best photo shoots were the car shoots, because if you did shoots for no, actually car shoots were not good because you couldn't have alcohol on the bill. Like the stylist, if we had alcohol, the stylist or the producer would have to hide it under something else like shipping
what
or
about
rental.
blog commercials, Mazzy?
But a lot of, look, you do pharmaceutical and healthcare ads, they would drink up more than any other kind of corporate thing, and we'd have like these, you know, you have a photo, you go out to dinner, you'd have a wrap shoot at the end, and it would be like a, you know, $5,000 dinner for the whole crew.
You know what it was like being in a band in the 90s?
Yeah,
I think you do know, actually.
Yeah, but in that case, it got billed back to your.
Exactly.
You had to pay for it. You just didn't know.
Out on somebody else's dime.
Yeah,
but
you didn't know you had to pay for it.
No, you're not. You're fucking paying for everything.
Yeah, the record store has accounting. I mean, the record label has accounting, right?
The record label bills. It's basically like if you get signed to a record label back then. I'm not going to talk about now, but it would be, you would get, you know, an advance or whatever, and it would be like getting paid, and on the right side or left side of your check you just got paid, it'd be, and here's how you're going to pay back what you just earned. It's like, have you ever worked at a job where you got paid and then you had to pay back what you earned? That's called being signed to a record label.
Well, it's been that way forever. They used to have a monk back in the 50s and the 60s. I mean, he would, you know, even with Columbia, he would do these records, and then he would end up with like, I mean, you're talking like Monk's Mood, like big fucking records, right? That we all know.
I'm a huge Monk fan.
He would end up with like $3,000, right? Like, you know, and that's it. And then it would be like an $18,000 or $20,000 deal for the record, but they would eat it all up with manufacturing and management and all that shit. So, you know, one of the most genius fucking humans that ever existed for this music that we all like.
Right. Well,
lived the subsistence, like, you know, he wasn't rich. He, you know, he just barely made it. So it's really
so you're a musician in the 90s, you get signed, you get an advance, you got to pay the advance back, you go on tour, you're making, you know, things are happening, but what you don't realize is that the bus you're paying for, all the numbers you're paying for, any party that happens in any town with all the representatives you're fucking paying for. But honestly, I swear I wouldn't take it back for the world, because
and the thing is
how you did it back
if
then.
your record stiffs, you don't have to pay back the money.
No, you don't fucking pay anything.
You just, like, if they pick you up at the airport, they take you out to dinner, they do anything,
that's all a write-off. It's all a write-off. But
it comes out of your money that you're not going to get from your royalty.
It comes out of your money that you're not going to get if you're making that money. And if you don't, it's a write-off. That's how it works. That's why they do it. But to be super fair, I'll say it again, I wouldn't fucking trade it for the world, because I have friends that are way more talented than I am that didn't sell one record. I'm making my 17th fucking record right now.
Yeah.
16th if you don't count the one that sucks. But it is a fucking great. I've had a great life making fucking music. I'm super fucking lucky. I'm a 1%er doing this shit. So, there you go.
So when I bought you that drink that time, it's coming out of something.
100%.
No. I was going to sell this on.
I'm going to Amstray, people.
All right. Well then,
I think it's
have a
time.
lovely rest of your evenings.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, Chris, thank you for hosting tonight.
We all just leaving now?
Yeah, it's time for me at least. It's time.
What time is it, like 7 o'clock?
It's 8:20.
All right, that's fine.
Joey, if you're around, if you're going to go, let me know. But otherwise, Chris.
What day are you talking about? Saturday or Sunday?
Either. I'm around.
All right, cool. Right on.
Take care.
All right, bro.
All right, see you. All
Chris, we're gonna fucking drink. Me and you.
Okay.
And it's gonna be good.
That'll be good.
It's gonna be some good
Okay,
shit. All right?
All right. Yeah.
Bank on that.
Sweet.
All right, bro.
See ya.
See you later.